gentlemen, the show is about to start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Hangout here with Astropreneur. My name is Liam. For those who do not know me, but I believe you all do. We still have a few people hanging out in the background. Thanks to everybody who hung out with me on Sunday when I put together the Stardust, because I'll show that again in a while. I really love this little thing. We're going to hang out. Anyone's welcome to come in and join in and chat with us. Let me share it out now before I forget. If you want to come in and talk with us, there is a link. We just asked to keep it civil. Oh, we have The Apprentice here. How are you? Let's see who else is online. We have Jerry. Well, Jerry's going to hang out with us. Zach, but Zach is going to hang out with us. He's here with us as well. Hey, Sergio, how's life? The Apprentice is out there. Hello. Crazy Lazy. I'm going to leave it at Crazy Lazy because I can just about make that part out of your name. Hey, non-fam, how are you doing? So let's see who's hanging out. Let's bring in Jerry. Why are you hiding?
I did something last night. I shaved. How goes it, everybody?
Good, and you?
Oh, pretty good.
You know, Brandon's going to be upset with you now.
Yeah, I had some car trouble yesterday, some truck trouble yesterday. Blew a tire, went to change it, and me of all people didn't have my jack in the truck. So I had to call my sister. Her husband gave her the jack to bring down. Once she got to where I was, he didn't give her the crank for the jack, so I could crank it up. But eventually, I got it swapped out.
You know what? That guy Jack is never around when you need him.
And then her husband says, "Well, aren't you going to come back and get it?" She goes, "No, you forgot to give it to me. You're going to drive it down here." So
good on her.
And Tom Lama has a test print he wanted me to do, and a few other people. So I didn't want to do it in black. But it's been Polymaker, Polycara, Black PLA. I've done this on the Kitty iFast. It's a base in base mode, which is, it's squishy. But he's going to be putting this up on printables. And it came out really good. I was going to do it in rainbow, but when I sliced the file, I picked the wrong nozzle for my iFast printer. But yeah, came out real nice.
See. Hey, Matt.
Hey, everybody. How's everybody? I'm good.
Good. And you?
Yeah, last couple of days I didn't have much sleep.
You never
terrible.
have much sleep.
Yeah, but I didn't sleep at all.
You know the song Zombie was written about too, you know?
Yeah, I know. I was a zombie, really. And, yeah, now I had some sleep over the day. And I actually slept right here like this for like an hour. For an hour. I just fell asleep doing some designs. And I made a little box. This is for somebody I made.
Nice.
It's for somebody you made. You made somebody?
Yeah, I made it that for somebody.
That's different.
So
it looks like a drink holder for a vehicle where you could put whatever.
Yeah, he's big into skulls, and he wants this. I think he has a seat in his movie seat or something like this. He wants to put it in. He gave me some dimension to fit into a box, and I said, okay, yeah, and that's dimension. And
so let's bring in Zach. Hey, Zach.
Hello.
Zach. Zach is being silent.
Yeah, he's playing it cool. Damn, I'm so jealous.
I'm playing
coolness.
with my cat right now.
Hey, Red Griffin. Hey, how are you?
You're playing with
the cat?
Playing fetch.
With a cat?
Yeah, I do that.
My Weedo IDEX printer I just put on Marketplace a little bit ago and on Craigslist.
That's a nice printer.
So
I know you're going to get the AMS with you in the next few weeks, but still, that's a nice machine.
Yeah, since I bought the Carbon X1 with AMS, which is like $1,600 and something, I got a lot of donations from people, which I got that YouTube money yesterday, and then I sold a bunch of stuff, and then I put it in my checking account, and then bills came in and groceries, and most of it just went poof. Where's it at? But I did manage to make a payment of $450 on the Discover card, which should have been more like $1,000, but the money just wasn't there.
Hey,
Hello,
Shane.
Shane.
Hello.
How are you?
Pretty good. I'm pretty busy.
Okay, so let's go around. Let's start with the up corner and talk about Matt. So, Matt, what have you been up to?
Well, I'm actually trying to make some money for myself. So if anybody's interested, I'm designing key rings. So if you want something designed, flat fee of £10 and you get an STL. And yeah, basically your logo, whatever you want on there, I can do this and
Nice.
yeah. Or scribble something if you're a designer yourself, make it like a nice design, and I use that design and can put it on there if I wanted to. So
here's a link on Twitch to the printer that I'm selling. This is on Amazon where it's on sale for like $539. I want $400 for mine. I've only used it for a handful of prints and videos that I've done. And Tom Llama has a design that he's putting up on printables of this vase with hearts on it. I've done a test print for him on Polyterra Black PLA on my shitty iPass, whatever the hell you call it. And it printed out perfect. So, that's in vase mode. I don't personally like vase mode because you can crush it with your hand real easy. But I wanted to get it done fast and do it in vase mode.
Yeah, but it's not as bad if you do it in regular PLA. If you do it in silk, it falls apart. But in regular PLA, at least it has some survivability. Yeah,
came out really good. So, and then I got a picture. I got a picture I can show you.
Oh, do you?
I got to find the picture.
So, guys, there's a link if anybody wants to come in and join in the conversation.
yeah, and I finished my contract doing the little
And then Ziltech, I'm an affiliate with Ziltech, so I got a real good deal on 12-roll fulfillment. So I'm getting all ramped up for my Bamboo Labs printer coming out. Got a little bit of everything there.
Yeah, I just ordered 30 rolls of filament.
Cool. So let's go back over here to Zach. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Of course I did. Zach, what are you up to? Hey, Llama, how are you?
Trying to plan out next time we get a launch from Wallops. How I want to do it with work and everything. Looking at the map.
Cool. Well,
I'm boring today.
I've
got work to do. I wasn't gonna have enough time to work on anything.
Yeah. Well, on the weekend, some of you saw my live stream where I did the assembly of my Stardust. Well, I finished printing and assembling my Stardust, and it vents.
The one time you want it to smoke, and it does.
Yeah.
So what's making the smoke?
It's water. It's water vapor. So it's a humidifier.
Oh.
It's using an ultrasonic humidifying disc in the base here, and there's a wick that goes up through it that's soaking wet from. There's a water reservoir on the bottom.
It's not true. It's just
water up, and then it vents it out.
That's awful.
You could buy those drops like I have in the kitchen. I got this thing. You put water in it. You put the different drops in it, different flavors, and it'll smell good.
I wouldn't do that to it because the oils from those things would actually build up inside in it. So it's got two modes. It's got the always on mode like this, and then you have the other mode when I push the button a second time, and it comes on for 10 seconds and then goes off. So if you watch, and it will stop venting after 10 seconds for 5 seconds, and then vent again after 5.
So Sergio, did you see the rocket launch? You should have been able to see it from DC.
It had gotten directly away from him at DC though.
Yeah, but you still should have been able to see it.
Oh yeah, but it would have moved directly opposite direction from him straight away. It would look like it's a dot of light moving and that's fading out over time.
Yeah, it looks like you should have been able to see this all the way from like Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Like
So,
middle of
where's Shane?
Ohio.
I'm here. I just threw some thing that I'm working on. Which
So, what is it?
It is a sword for cosplay.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's
It's
what I got.
it's a big sword, isn't it?
It's not gonna be too big.
It's just
Probably
broad.
it'll be probably 2 feet long ish.
No, that's not so bad.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a lot of detail and sanding and painting.
But you like that kind of stuff. Cool. So, anybody have anything else interesting planned or for the next week or so? Any projects you're planning that you're working on? My biggest for the next week would be hopefully to work with support again on the Bamboo Labs and get my printer printing properly.
Still nothing from them?
Well, the last message I got from them, I'll tell you exactly what it was now, because let me open it. I have the ticket out here, because their ticket system is through their app. The last communication they sent to me was on the 20th. And they haven't responded.
Well, it's Chinese New Year right now, so.
I know. But I did message them on the 21st. I know it's during the Chinese New Year. Hey, Sebastian, how are you? And what I said is there any further update on this? If it's a flaw in the machine, are you going to send me an RMA to send it back so you can sort of replace it, or what? So I'm asking for their input on what they want to do. I have a feeling, because they say print faster when you get those lines, but when I print faster, I get really bad ringing on the corners. So the vertical lines diminish, but I haven't taken the last in the last day or so, but in the last week or in the last couple of days there was an update, but I haven't checked yesterday.
Oh, okay. Hey, Michael.
Hey, Michael. So what happens is when you go really fast, like say 400 millimeters or so, 450, I get a lot of ringing on the corners. The vertical lines disappear because it's moving so fast, but there's a lot of ringing on the corners, which leads me to believe the accelerometer is bad. Now, I've heard of other people having accelerometer issues that they replace the boards, so it could be the accelerometer could be bad in it. You know, 19th century, January, a hot 51p firmware along with a Bamboo Studio has been released. The 19th, I did update. Manual extrusion compensation and improved thermal running protection, and our customer support is improving too. Yeah, well, I think the last one I updated was the 19th. I think it's 10101. I think is the version.
Sebastian, you say, and our customer support. Are you a member of?
He's
Bamboo?
posting their comments.
If so, please send me a Bamboo.
I'll send you a Bamboo. I'll send it to Louise so she'll beat you with it.
Not that type of Bamboo.
No, so the one in the 19th I have updated. I know, Sebastian. Right. It's Matt just being Matt. That's all it is.
I take it all literally, you know, like word for word.
If you took it all literally,
what are you doing to the poor cat? I keep hearing it now.
He's playing fetch. So I'll throw this, he'll run get it, and he'll come back and drop it, and he'll start meowing.
You're probably stepping on his tail or something.
But if Matt took everything literally, which he claimed a moment ago, which is not true, he'd never hang out with us anymore because we give him such a hard time. He'd be insulted. He'd never come hang out with us ever again.
When I was a little kid, my dad had this little boxing thing. It's you put your hand underneath the skirt, and it's got two boxing arms and gloves. And you use your thumb, the hands go like this, right?
Yeah, the Rock'em Sock'em one. Yeah.
No, you put it on your hand. It's not a toy game with a ring. You hold it on your hand. It's got a boxer person's head, and it's got two arms that go like this. I used to box with a cat. It's funnier than hell because you know how cats act when you mess with them. They really get upset and start batting at you and trying to bite you. And anyway,
I hope you get bitten well.
You brought it back.
Sheep toy.
A cat plays fetch? No way.
Yeah. My cat used to do that.
My sister had cats who'd come by calling their names and all this kind of stuff. Whereas you rarely see cats who respond when you call them by name. They come running to you, but hers did. And we actually had a small dog, a Yorkshire Terrier. And in the back of our house where we lived, it was a two-story house, but in the back of the house we had a big extension where we spent most of our family room. It was a big kitchen and family room. And we had a wall around our backyard. One of the dogs, the Yorkies, used to get up on the wall, climb up on the wall, found his way up on the wall, walked along and jumped up on the roof and walked over and sat on my sister's windowsill to get in the window because he used to copy the cats. So the dog thought he was half cat. Hey, TK, how are you? Yeah, guys, hit those thumbs up and follow and like or wherever you are now.
TK hasn't been in a Hangout in what, like 2 years?
Yeah,
it's been a long
time. Can you read the perimeters that the accelerator for your printer? I'd have to check. I have an ADXL for a different machine. I can try that out. And then you can compare the parameter. Yeah, I have to go in and check if the parameters are listed in there. If not, I'd have to go look at it.
I hope I get an email by the end of the month stating, "Hey, we've shipped your printer," but I don't know. I'm assuming.
3D Experiments. Hey, how are you?
3D Experiments. Hello.
So, yeah. So those who just joined may not have seen my star desk, which I've been putting out all over Twitch and YouTube and everywhere else, just to show that.
Yeah, welding gloves are thick, but man, a Bobcat, I don't know about that. I've never been around a Bobcat, but
the venting Falcon Starship. Sorry, this is my favorite gadget of all now. It's in my office and I use it all. I have it on and off all day. And it has two modes. So this is continuous on, or you have it in the intermittent mode where it's off for 5 seconds and on for 10.
You should tint the water. Try tinting the water to see if it changes the color.
It wouldn't. And I don't want to do that because if you do, no, it's actually water vapor, a humidifier.
Yeah, essential oil diffuser. That's what I got in my kitchen.
Yeah, I wouldn't put oil into this. It's powered over USB. So I have it plugged in a USB cable plugged into a USB adapter on the wall. You get the cable, you don't get the adapter with the kit.
Yeah.
But it's a nice kit, and it doesn't take long to power it. It's geeky cool. You're right, Amanda. It's very geeky cool. And I'm a geek, so yeah, I'm all over this one. I've been putting it out on Facebook. I've been putting it out on Twitter. I've been putting it out everywhere, and everyone thinks it's awesome. I even when I posted on Twitter, I added Elon Musk. He didn't respond, but I added Elon Musk when I put it out on Twitter.
Hey, why not?
That link is not working. You can let me fix that. I have to log into emphysema. Oh, that's crap.
What did she type? I can't even read it. It's so small.
I can't.
Put it on the screen. Let's see it. No, I can't tell if it is.
No, it's too dark. AAD maybe? I don't know.
RAD.
Is it RAD? Rad? Okay. It was just so small, Amanda. We can't read it.
That's not a regular keystroke, so why would it be?
It was an icon, is what she posted.
An emoji, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Duh.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah, emphysema it sucks.
Oh yeah, and I've been doing a bookmark for the book fair.
1 second, Matt, and I'll put you.
I hope you get better, buddy.
Yeah.
Made a little hand. So you just put it in the book like this, and then it would grab the books, you know.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I showed this one off already, so if anybody's interested.
That book one, that one hand that you have.
Yeah.
You should cut the fingers and put a knuckle on them so it bends.
That's how he wanted the person.
Okay.
So, but I'm printing this piece out in resin because I'm not happy with the quality of.
They're very small points, and most.
I mean, just look at the fingernails. You know, they're just horrendous.
Yeah, they're really small. That's why there's no cooling on them.
So.
What's for dinner, Shane?
Mac and cheese, hot dogs in it.
Gnocchi with vodka sauce.
Gnocchi, okay. Nice.
Yeah. My little project that I've been working on is been kind of reworking my my website to have I don't have anything to show, but for the testing scripts for doing laser testing. So like the line width is the one that I'm going to be adding soon. So I have a test square for doing the power for cutting and engraving, and then I'm going to be doing for the line width.
Oh, okay. Well, what do you mean, a ramp test?
Basically,
Mm.
it's basically a grid of like the speeds and the feeds and all that stuff. So
yeah, well, the ramp test is used for focus point.
Oh,
right?
yeah, that's different then.
Okay.
He's talking about a test card where it's got
Okay,
squares on it, and circles and wavy lines and stuff like that, like the LA Hobby guy
There's
has.
a question there for you, Shane.
Maybe, possibly.
I'm trying to find where I put it. What you say?
There's a question there for you.
That's the that one right there. That's the feature creep. That's Zach's printer. Zach has his printer. But yeah, it's basically a grid with the amount of power and the amount of speed, and kind of goes up from there.
They're gone now, aren't they, as a company?
That I don't know.
Didn't they fold? I thought they folded as a company a couple of years ago. I didn't think they exist anymore. Hey, Saginac, how are you? And you're using the word gentleman. I know you're using that term very generally because it doesn't really apply to most of us here, right? I have it in about 4 days.
Saganaki 3D gave me a great idea yesterday. I have an old air fryer. I got a new one for Christmas, and I got an old air fryer, a smaller one that's like pancake size. And he's like, well, you can take all your old filament out of your Bamboo Labs that you're going to save, and you can melt it down in your air fryer. And that's a good idea because I'm not ever going to use that air fryer for anything. I'm either going to sell it for $20 or throw it away or give it to charity. So that would be good. Just maybe use that to melt down filament to make things with.
Well, what you could do is get cookie shapes with different faces and stuff, like different characters, and like the Star Wars ones and so on.
Yeah.
And you fill it with filament and let them melt into it. So then when it cools, you pop them out, and you have little multicolored faces or figurines melted into it. So you can buy those cookie trays pretty cheap.
Yeah, I don't know if the filament would get hot enough; it'd be pourable in the air fryer.
No, it wouldn't be pourable. You put it in there and you bake it while it's in there, and it melts down into the shape.
Okay, and then add more chunks to it to melt more into it
until it fills it up, and then when it's ready, you take it out. Okay. And you can press on it when it's hot. You press it like with something on the back with something flat, and if you need to, and then you take it out. Then you just let it cool and then pop them out.
All right.
It's one way of using up your supports and all and leftover bits of filament. So. Saginac, yeah, they did respond about 4 days. The last message I got from was 4 days ago, and they asked me to make sure that the bearings were clean, which obviously I've done. I've been there, done that, And they said you make sure to check all the way around. I said, yeah. Well, I moved the head to make sure the bearings rotate. Like they're talking to me like it's someone who doesn't really know printers, but they're following a script to make sure it's right, and I'm okay with that.
Here's something you can share real quick. Saganaki, I got something for sale. I just put it online a little bit ago. I'm going to sell my Weedo dual extruder.
What, you're selling Amazon?
No, that's one off Amazon that you can pick up for $5.39. I want $400 for mine. And I've done a handful of prints with it for a video that I did, and I haven't used it since. It's sitting right behind me. That's just reference to know all about it. So anyway, because I need to pay off that Discover card. So if I sell this for $400, then it'll help out. So
yeah. So they haven't reached out in the last 2 days or two. I did message them and said, look, what's happening with this? Do you have a solution for this? If you don't, do you want to do an RMA to replace it, or what do you want to do? And I've asked them and they haven't responded. So let's see what happens. What normally happens is you've got 30 days to return the machine. That's their policy. But I opened a ticket within 2 days of receiving it or 3 days of receiving it. So as far as I'm concerned, my 30 days stopped at that point. That's when my 30 days stopped because I had an issue from out of the box. So
I contacted O'Toole about reviewing their new rotary that they came out with.
yeah,
And the reply was from the person is, "We're on vacation." Well, yeah, I know that. And I'm surprised that she even replied to me.
they'll
I said, well,
spot check.
I have wonderful vacation. Stay safe and get back to me when you're working.
Yeah.
So,
So I'm waiting to see if they'll come back to me or not. They might come back to me at the end of the week or something like that, and that's okay. But I want to see what they say. If they want to do an RMA, I'm fine with that. But I have a suspicion. It keeps saying the Y-axis belt is loose as well. I got that warning, and that Y-axis belt, I've tightened that belt. I even actually got out a
yeah, it
sound
might
app.
have been an autoresponder. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, but I got a sound application on my phone, and I tested the belts, and they both sound the same. They're both the same amount of frequency, sound frequency. That means they're the same. They're the same tension. But I keep saying the Y-axis is which is the back left motor, is maybe loose. It's not. I've tightened it. I've made sure they're the same, and it's not. So
Yeah, I don't think it could have been autoresponder. It was 3 or 4 hours after I commented to him. And usually an autoresponder like LA Hobby Guy will instantly pop something on the screen. I'm busy right now. I'll get back with you. So
Yeah.
no, it was delayed like 3 or 4 hours.
So let's see what happens. I'm hoping that maybe the end of the week they might come back to me, maybe, because they're out until the end of this week, I believe, isn't it?
And I think I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, when I bought tires for my truck in 2013, they were about $155 a tire. I blew one out yesterday. It's got a 50,000 mile warranty, and I've only put 25,000 on my truck, so it's still within warranty, but it's been 10 years. And I asked them for the price of a new tire discount, and they're currently $315. Like, huh? What do you mean? I paid $155 10 years ago. I understand markup and inflation, but
It's 10 years,
double?
Jerry.
No way. That's crazy. 10 years.
No. And also
So-
remember, products become more expensive and harder to come by due to global shortages because during COVID, and they haven't rebuilt stock yet.
Yeah, all over Vegas, they have Mexican tire stores, what I call them, where Hispanic people have a tire store or a taco shop in every corner. And that's where my spare came from that I have on the truck on the front left right now. So I'll probably hit them up next week.
Too, Jerry, is tires have an expiration date. At 10 years,
That's a long life.
Yeah, dry rotting, cracking, et cetera, yeah.
Yeah, 10 years is well past the normal.
That's probably why they're not going to warranty it. I think they'll say a distance or a time is what they normally say.
And especially being in the desert, that's really hard on rubber.
That's 50% of normal.
Being in the desert, it's amazing that they lasted 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, the other 3 on the truck are still perfect as far as I'm concerned. But
My wife goes through a set of tires almost every year. She does a lot of driving, but in Michigan, it's not as bad on the heat. So
Yeah.
she does so much driving. Like her drive to work, she works for GM. So her drive to work is an hour's drive, right? Roughly, to the tech center. And so my guess is, I think she changes them she does about 6 oil changes a year, roughly. And she does a new set of tires almost yearly.
yeah, Saganaki, I was out on Seven Hills Drive, took the freeway back doing like 75, 80, got off at Boulder Highway, turning onto Lamb. And the truck is like, what the hell? In the turn lane, I was creeping forward to the red light, and it felt like it was flat. Open my door, yep, it's flat. It's like, what the hell? I haven't changed a tire on that truck.
Sergio!
Hey, Sergio.
How are you, man?
Hey guys,
How's life?
a little slow right now. Taking it a little easy, catching up on cleaning up in here and some prints that I need to get done.
Sergio, show me mine. I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
I haven't done it yet.
Okay.
I've been printing those the for the Babel Lab. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, because if you check the Bamboo store, they've been out of stock in these things for the longest.
Are they going to print out and work fine? And what material are you printing them out of? PETG, PLA?
Oh, yeah. PLA, PETG.
PLA works just fine. I've got 1, 2, 3 of them in Let me see. Hey, follow me. Hey, wait. Come on. It doesn't want to follow me. It fell asleep.
Rip.
Hold on.
It just said nope.
Yeah, mine's not moving right now either.
It's looking at you saying, "Who are you telling me what to do?"
Hey,
There's a little hand on the side, just doing this.
Pull up the app on your desktop and you can move it or change
Come on,
it.
guys, more likes
yeah,
and follows.
I got
Come
it
on.
up here now.
Well, there's no follows down there.
It usually follows me with no problem.
Who's the bossy bastard?
Sergio is.
Oh.
No.
So it's
Yeah, I'm
funny
not
when you're
sure if
talking
I'm
about having to put a new set of tires on your wife's car once a year.
There we go. Now it'll follow me.
When I lived in Birmingham, it was that way. But every time you got your tires changed, you had to change your shocks too because of how bad the road was.
Hello.
Oh, yeah, not here.
There we go.
I'm actually surprised. Well, it is Lower Michigan. Upper Michigan, the roads are way worse.
Well, yeah. Well, we have a snowstorm coming in tomorrow, actually. I mean, they're just saying anywhere between 4 and 8 inches of snow tomorrow.
A snowstorm. Ugh.
It's okay. It's Michigan. It's what we get. It's part of the. That's why I bought a serious snowblower. See?
Yeah, my snow thrower is older than I am.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I got
it for free.
a good one. Oh. Yeah,
I see what it
Tom,
was.
if the ads are bugging you there, if you want to come over onto Facebook or
Here we go.
YouTube, I'm there too.
Making big, Liam.
So I've got inside there 1, 2, and I've got a couple of rolls over here that are. So I'm printing a couple more because, as you can see, I just got a load of Bamboo Lab, the refills here,
All right.
and I've got more on order.
So Sergio, did you see that rocket? Did you?
No,
Did you
Which
hear
one?
about it?
no.
Yeah, there was a rocket launch from Wallops tonight. You should have been able to see it from DC area.
Oh wow, no, I did not. I don't watch the news. Too
They're
depressing.
outside.
So, did you try out the coin tester?
No, I haven't yet. I got it right here. Ready
You want to try it out live on TV? You can do it right now.
Oh, I got to go through the instructions.
There's nothing to it. You put the coin. You basically put the coin in, and you tap it with the. You put the two rubber tips in there, and you can either flick it by hand, or you can use the stick and tack it, and you can hear the ringing sound.
But you got to learn what the sounds are like, and there's
there's an app out there. There's an app you can install in your phone, and it will confirm. The app will actually tell you if it's correct. So if you pick the coin from the app,
okay,
and you ding it, it will tell you if it's correct, if it's real or not.
I got you.
Because he didn't write the app; somebody else wrote the app. But he did. But everyone all previous to this, the way of pinging coins was kind of clunky. So he came up with this design where you can actually just do it in your carry in your pocket, and you can do it when you're buying your coins and use the app. It'll tell you if it's real or not.
I got you.
Or if it's real silver, you can tell by the ringing sound of it if it's real or not, or it's gold or whatever. Because as you know, a pure metal has a very pure, clean, high-pitched sound.
Lily quit it.
So if you put any coin into it and tap it right now, you can hear a nice, clean ring out of it.
Yeah, I worked retail so long that if somebody's got a handful of change and there's a silver quarter in it, I can hear the silver quarter jingle against all the other coins.
Yeah,
it's a very distinct sound.
A lot of people go to the banks and they'll buy the gold dollars, and they'll go through them and they'll test them and they'll look for the marks on them to see if there's any unusual ones inside there.
Well, silver quarters are pretty easy to fit. Well, first of all, quarters is anything 1964 and before.
Yeah.
Now, 1965, there were some made in silver, and they're worth money, a lot of money.
Because there's a lot less of them out there.
Because it's a print error.
Yeah.
A mint error.
So
but if you look at anything that's not silver, well, you could see the copper on the rim.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, because that's how you can tell it's
is that a
clad.
silver coin?
This is just a quarter.
Oh, okay. What is it? A silver?
No,
Okay.
no, that has the
Because
copper.
they just
clad.
showed you the copper.
I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard with this camera. For
Yeah,
me to-
I've seen it on the edge though. I've seen the copper on the edge. Yeah. So try one of your good coins in it. The silver or the gold if you have any gold coins.
Yeah, I do. I have some
you hear a
gold
nice clean tone from it, and it rings. Gold doesn't ring as long because it's a softer metal, but silver ring when you ding silver, you get a very long, high pitched tone out of it.
ones. Yeah,
But with the app and like inside the thing, there are instructions, links to he's got a TikTok account and he's always posting on TikTok and he's
Okay.
showing the sounds difference between real and fake coins and stuff all the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna check his. I'm gonna check it all out probably tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm saving any service calls I've been getting in. I've been scheduling them for Thursday because I don't want to go out for just one call.
Yeah.
You know, unless it's an emergency like
Do
today.
a run of them, a few of them at a time. Yeah.
Right. Today we had one emergency and it paid because it was a $600 service call. So.
So you know, Sergio, my dad does HVAC, but to deal with the winter slowdown in Birmingham, he got into doing restaurant equipment too.
We have restaurants that we do work for. We have some commercial accounts. So we have, Bobby Vans, right?
Yeah.
Bobby Van. We do both their restaurants, the one on New York Avenue and the one that's near the White House.
Do you do like the kitchen equipment too, or just the?
Only the exhaust fan and stuff.
Yeah, so he does like stoves and dishwashers.
Yeah,
and cooking equipment.
That I don't get into.
He really branched out, and now 90% of his clientele is restaurants. He doesn't even have his own business anymore. It's just the clients he's kept for the years.
If I could find a guy who specializes in that, then I could branch out into something like that. But you have to know what you're doing when it comes to that.
Yeah, for sure.
To that stuff. Now the refrigeration side, I know the refrigeration side. Here's the problem. With doing refrigeration these days, you need to carry probably around 10, 12 different refrigerants on your truck. And that's a lot. And just the investment is insane.
Well, so the way he's done it is over the years, anytime there was a refrigerant he didn't have, he would have the job pay for it. And then he would just keep it on hand. And then, he'll have a list of clients and what their equipment is. So if he's going to this place that knows it has this refrigerant, he'll take that refrigerant with him.
The problem is,
he's been doing restaurants now for probably 15 years. I need to call him for his birthday.
When I first got into the business, I worked for a commercial company, and that's mainly what we did.
Yeah,
restaurants and stuff. The only thing I hate about restaurants.
I know what you're gonna say.
I went into a damn basement one time, and the damn rat was about that damn big.
See, that's the downside to working in restaurants like that. You work in a restaurant, you'll never eat one again.
Yes, and in alleys, you have to work in alleys a lot of times.
I can imagine it's even worse in a town like DC, because Birmingham's not built that way, man.
It's crazy. There's crazy.
not the alleys and stuff. It's like in a strip mall or a standalone.
I never used to be afraid of rats, okay, until one day I cornered a rat. It was pregnant, and that rat stood up on its hind legs and went. Every hair on my body stood up the back of my neck, and I just walked away, man. I just said, "The hell with this."
My wife's parents used to have a restaurant, bistro down in Texas for 4 or 5 years, and their hot water heater was set up in the alley and needed to be replaced. And was setting up on a big platform. You open up the doors. Well, the platform, the whole structure was rotten, and I can replace the hot water heater, but the laws in Texas wouldn't allow me to replace it. You have to be a licensed company to come out and do it. But I needed to rebuild everything. So on the weekend, I had to go take my torch, unsolder all the pipes disconnect everything, drain it, set it on the ground, rebuild everything, put it back up there, solder it all back up, hook it back up, and then they called the company out to undo what I just did to replace the damn thing. Because I had to rebuild the structure around it.
Wow.
It's crazy.
You all see this filament cutter on printables?
No.
No, what's that?
You got to check it out. So when you put it together, when I finally get it together, there are springs that go in here with screws so you can adjust it, and the blade goes in here, and it'll cut the filament at a 45-degree angle. And when you push down, it'll cut, and then it springs back up. It's really nice. It's printed. You put the blade in here. The blade goes in there. It's already on an angle. And I think that was pretty neat instead of breaking out that other thing, fiddling with it one-handed.
Is it like an X-Acto blade?
Yeah, springs. There's springs that go in here. You take two springs out of old pens,
mm-hmm.
and you use 3mm screws. I forgot what size they are. I have to look it up. And they go in there, and the screws screw into here. The springs are in between. The screws go in from the back. So, and you can actually adjust it. And so one-handed, just stick it in there, click, and it cuts it on a perfect 45-degree angle.
Nice.
Well, what kind of blade goes into it? Is it like an X-Acto blade or?
So, yeah, the X-Acto blades that come a bunch of little sections.
Oh, okay.
You take one of the sections off and you stick
Okay.
it in there.
Okay.
All right.
It's on printables.
Yeah, I'm waiting a whole bunch of filament to come. I have like 30 rolls of filament coming.
That must have been expensive.
Hey,
No
so
comment.
Sergio, do you see those little sticks in that bag? Sergio,
What's that?
those little sticks in the bag?
Yes.
Yeah, I engraved those.
Yeah. It's in there.
Yeah, I just saying that's what I do for him. I make those for him.
Oh, so you put the stack stick in there?
Yeah.
Cool.
Actually, I haven't. I think he said he'll have another batch for me this weekend.
Yeah, I bet you that's a quick little engraving, right?
It's fat. I do them in batches of 20 at a time.
Oh, it's pretty deep.
Yeah, I do a good deep engraving so it doesn't get knocked out or whatever.
Yeah, pretty nice.
I do it on the CO2 laser.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah, I do it on the CO2 laser is what I do. So I have a template and I line them up in the template, and then I run it.
That's what I ought to start doing. I could probably make a little bit of money if I can get a good account.
For what? And I'm doing engraving.
Yeah, for little things like that. That would be
like you could do dog tags and nameplates and all this kind of stuff because you have a fiber laser.
Yeah.
So you could do a lot of stuff like that as well, because you have the ability to engrave metals. Like you could do, if you got some patterns, some good patterns. A lot of people like laser engraves on the bodies of pistols and stuff, on the barrels and stuff on pistols.
Mm-hmm.
They like that kind of stuff, or in the handles, or on knives. Pattern engrave on a knife, or verbiage or whatever, and a pattern engraved on a knife. So a lot of people are looking for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and also that what's it called again? The other one that I got. That one will do a nice little job on. What the hell is it called?
Oh, that's your fiber laser, right?
No, not well. This one is.
Oh, that's the laser pecker. Is it?
It's called the laser pecker.
Yeah,
the laser pecker.
And demonetized.
Hey?
What's
Sorry,
that?
Shane, what'd you say?
And demonetized.
Hey,
Why?
Tripod.
Because I said that?
No,
You get a
it's a joke.
Oh.
Laser pecker.
Well, that's the name of it. I didn't come up with the name of it, man. I know if I was involved in the marketing of that in that firm, there's no way I'd have called it that.
They could have called it a laser tallywhacker.
Same difference. Hey, John, how are you?
That's what they call it.
Is there a logo, a giant chicken, a rooster, or anything like that?
No, it's a the logo's a woodpecker.
Okay, that would make sense.
Yeah, where's my phone? I got it over there.
Just working on stuff. What stuff?
If you look it up, yeah, it's like a woodpecker. Looks like.
There's a link if you want to jump in while you're working on stuff.
By the way, that thing is 100% portable. You can take it anywhere. This is the power bank for it.
Oh, that's very small, yeah.
Yep, and it's supposed to last a good little amount of time. So we shall see.
Is it like a USB-C thing that plugs into, or?
It's both. It's got USB-C and USB-B. Both of them in there.
Okay. Well, what does the laser engraver plug into? Is it the USB-C or?
The B.
Oh, the B. Okay.
Yeah. So the C is for.
Just for charging.
The one in the middle is for charging. Oh yeah, you can charge at C. Yeah. You can charge it either or. So you got two ways of charging it.
Yeah.
But it's also the nice thing is this thing. So you can either lay this down.
The roller, yeah.
But here's the thing: it's also got these legs on it, and what you can do is the laser will sit up on top of here, and these legs you pull these out and you set it up, and it will roll on a piece of wood. Let's say you got a really long piece of wood and you want to engrave the thing. Let's say it's 2-3 feet long. It'll travel while it's engraving on it all the way down.
So you can do really long engravings.
Yes,
but if the machine has to
with it,
but if there's any bumps or lumps or anything in it, it has to be pre-sanded, because if there are any bumps or lumps in it, it will cause it to move, right?
Oh yeah, well it's got to be nice and flat.
Yeah. Actually, it might even be better if you're going to do something like that, is to put a pieces of square box steel and have it right on that as your guide. That would be perfectly flat, right?
Well, I'm sorry. I was looking.
I said to make sure you have a flat surface. If you had some box steel tubing, make it right along the box steel tubing. That would make sure it's a perfectly flat surface, because it'd be smoother than the wood.
Yeah. Tripod. What are you saying? Laser upgrade.
Yeah. What upgrade? Is it a new lens or something you're putting in your laser?
The next laser for tripod will be the Star Wars Death Star laser.
I think he's about to become the king of lasers soon if he keeps it up.
When are you building the Death Star laser, Tripod?
He's going to test out in your house, Matt.
No. Remember, it's a planet killer. It's not a house killer, you know?
Any updates on your wife's printer, Matt?
No, not yet.
No?
I'm surprised. Every Wednesday and every Saturday we ask, and he should have got back with you and said, "Oh yeah, it's." I
know, but I'm waiting, and I don't want to push, you know. So.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it will be on its way. I mean, whatever he sent me before it came, so it just takes time from Loyal Moses. I mean, last time I waited was 4 months.
Ouch. Oh, you won something on LM show?
Yeah, P1P.
Oh, really?
Well, my wife gave it to me for my Christmas, so.
In other words, his wife won it.
That's for a pull-up, Shane.
Yeah,
wow.
I'm happy about that.
Yeah, the whole reason why I was asking if it was like USB-C, like that USB-C port will do 20 volts at 2.25 amps.
Jeez.
So it's like USB-C, you can do a lot of stuff with it.
Yeah.
That's within the spec. Could do 5 volts, 9 volts, 12 volts, and I think this one does 18 volts as well. So you can
That's
just
neat.
you can do a lot with it.
That's what I like about the newer iPad. They have a USB-C connection to it, so they charge a lot faster.
Yeah.
Actually,
The only downside is I've had a lot of issues like the data ports or the data pins on the port in my phone is just I can't even plug it into a computer anymore to get stuff off of it.
Go to the they can switch out just that module on your phone.
Oh yeah, I've swapped it out already and it's already failed. It's
so maybe the board is the
I used to
problem.
upload everything to Google Drive, then all of a sudden one day it started working again on my phone.
Yeah.
And then I bought a different charger. Instead of plugging in every night, I bought a round base. Just set the phone on, it charges it.
Yeah, I actually have one of those wireless chargers. I have for my old phone. My old phone would charge in 2 hours on it, no problem. My new phone, on it all night long, it still needs to be plugged in the next morning into directly to USB-C because the output of the wireless charger is not the same as what the phone needs. It actually needs to have a higher output.
Different phones have different chargers.
Yeah. Well,
So
USB-C.
the phone I have on a cord its brand cord, and Walmart will charge it 65 watts. They sell a 25-watt wireless charger for it, which is blazing fast because usually they're like 5.
Yeah, I need to change my wireless charger for that.
Yeah, like this will charge at I think 9 volts and pull almost the full amount off of this.
Yeah. So this new phone I have, it would not, like a whole night would not fully charge it. Now, in saying that, a whole night for me is 4 or 5 hours of sleep, right? Because I'm up at it varies, but I'm up anywhere between 4 and 5 in the mornings when I wake up.
Also, Tripod is talking about a new module. It looks like.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's a new optical lens module or I don't know. I'm not sure which laser he's referring to. So the link is there, Dan. If you want to come join.
Yeah, hey guys, I'm gonna cut it a little bit short. I did not have enough sleep the last couple days, and so I'm
Give off the rest, Matt. We'll see you in a half hour.
Probably. I mean, it's terrible. I'm literally afraid of going to sleep because as soon as I fall asleep, not even 5-10 minutes later, I have a nightmare, and then I wake up and.
Are you eating before you go to sleep?
No.
Okay.
Last time I eaten was like 4.5 hours, 5 hours ago.
Oh, maybe then you need to eat because
get a mobile and put above your bed.
I do sleep better when I eat.
So you have good dreams. Get a mobile that shines on the ceiling, night lights, and stars or dinosaurs or rainbows.
Yeah.
Unicorns
trust me, I tried
you
everything.
Sleep in a cot, right?
White noise. Get something to make some white noise. Go to sleep.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Take care. Have a great night. Later.
Nate.
Okay. What budget tracking telescope? Okay. Depends what you want to track and what you can get a tracking L mount for that are not really expensive. So they're basically it's an L-shaped mount, and on the top of the arm you can put your telescope on there on an L bracket. The other options are like tracking scopes. If you get a Newtonian style telescope and it's only for visual, a tracking scope, they're not ridiculously expensive. They're about by a budget, I mean 6-inch stub with electronics is probably $600, maybe $700. You can get smaller desktop ones, but they're a waste of money, really waste of money. If you want to do astrophotography, your money needs to go into your mount. The telescope mount is where the money really needs to go. Like my astrophotography mount is almost $3,000, just my mount and tripod. No scopes, just a mount and tripod. If it's for visual, you don't really need that much tracking. You can get cheap enough go-to for under $500 or $600.
Your friend that passed away, what kind of stuff did he have?
Oh, he had a mixture of everything because he was into all of it. He's a big imager. Like he has like the guy that passed away recently, Greg. Greg has one telescope that's looking at the sun, only the sun. That new was $10,000. He has another one for imaging, which is a RASA, an 11-inch RASA. The 11-inch RASA, and these are just scopes only, no mount, scope only. The 11-inch RASA is $8,000, $7,000 or $8,000 for the. Or no, sorry, new $4,000 or $5,000. I think it is. So he had some really expensive scopes. If you're visual only, okay. If you go with a GE11 mount, it's an equatorial mount, so you're dealing with having the polar alignment. Now you can get rough polar alignment, and it's fine for visual. But if you're going to do only visual, then why not get a Dob? Because you get a Dob cheaper, and you get more bang for your buck because its aperture is larger. So you'll get to see more. I would say if you're only visual, go with a manual Dob, or get the go-to Dobs like Celestron and Orion and so on. Do go-to Dobs, which work. Obviously, you have to align them on 1 or 2 stars first, the bright stars, but after that, it'll track, and it will go to targets for you. They're what we call they're go-to and push-to, so you can push them to a target and they remember where they are, or they'll go there. Oh, you already have the CGE11. Okay. I think people who are, I think, unless you're an equatorial, is hard to learn. That's the problem with them. The CG with those, right? If you go and if you like, you have to learn the polar line and all this kind of stuff. Whereas if you don't know how to do that, it's a steep learning curve. Now, I think they're nice. They're a nice they're a nice mount, but they're a pricey mount. I have the 9.25 HHD is what I use as one of my imaging scopes. Or you have the ETX 125. That's great for planets, and it's great for visual, and it's great for outreach. But an equatorial is a learning curve because you have to align to the parallel to the rotational polar axis of Earth. So there's a learning curve involved there. And then a Dob is not like that. You just look in the finder, turn, point, and look in the eyepiece, and they're done. There's no computers involved, but and they can track. Some of them can track. But the equatorial is a learning curve to align. I use PoleMaster on my imaging mount because that's the fastest way to get polar alignment rather than dealing with drift alignment and so on, which is a whole process. I won't go over drift alignment, but anyone who knows imaging, drift alignment is a whole process. It takes about a half an hour to align your scope, whereas with the PoleMaster, I can do it in 10 minutes or less. Everyone's silent because we're talking about astronomy equipment.
Huh?
Yeah, see, everyone's asleep. It's just it's one of my things, right?
We're learning. I mean, we may not understand it, but you know, sometimes.
Oh, you were listening?
Yeah, apparently he was. Maybe he's the only one.
I'm going to go get a Coke. I'll be right back.
Oh,
that's to wake him up. I understand.
No.
I'm not going to show this, but on Facebook, my ex-wife reposted a picture like people do on Facebook. And the caption says, "This man had what he thought was the best tattoo in the world until he went to prison." It's showing a picture of a guy's back. It shows like a woman's face and her hair. And down where his butt is, that's like her breast, let's say, the nice word to use. It was kind of funny.
Yeah. So 3D experiments. Yeah, binos on a tripod or even binos on a parallelogram is fantastic for outreach and for beginners. Even binos on a monopod is fantastic for people who are for people who are learning. And any astronomer worth their salt who's out in the field will have a pair of binoculars with them, because we use binoculars to find stuff in sometimes first, and then we use our scope. So, especially like for comets, yeah, I'd look first with a pair of binoculars, find it in the binoculars, figure out the stars are around it, and then I would turn my scope there because I know what I'm looking for. So many tripods. Yeah, I have many tripods. So I think I have 5 or 6 tripods, and including you, John, we have 7. I lugged it around to everywhere. I'm really glad because, yeah, oh yeah, stuff has got really expensive now. Everything that we used to buy has doubled in price. Anyway, enough astronomy stuff. We can go back to astronomy later on if you want. But so any other big projects going on other than what you're working on? What about you? Since you're in a down stage, Sergio, what's going on with you?
Since I'm in a downstate, what?
You're in a quiet phase at work at the moment.
Printing.
What are you printing?
The micro jib. As soon as I finish these rolls, because my filament came in, so I can start again on the micro jib. I had run out of filament. It takes a lot of filament.
It does, and it's a complex. There's a lot of parts in that.
Yeah.
And what does he charge? Something like $35 for the files?
Something like that. 35.
It's a bit.
How much infill are you putting in it? Like 25, 30%?
Depends which parts you're printing, I'm assuming.
No, most of the parts are 40%.
Okay.
There's a couple. There's 1 or 2 that are at 50, and there's maybe two smaller parts that are at 30%.
Oh, they got recommended
40.
They have recommended infill amounts for the different parts in.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I got it right here. So there's a sheet. Where's my glasses? Shoot.
On your head.
No.
That's a common mistake. A lot of people make that mistake.
Done that. Yeah.
Okay, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think like 9 or 10 parts that are at 30%. No, 12. Looks like 11, 12, 13. Okay. The rest are 40. So there's only one part that's at 15%, and that is the front beam is at 15%, one at 20%. Actually, most are 30 and 40%.
That's a lot. And how many walls do they recommend?
That's the list of parts.
How many outer walls? I'm guessing
4.
4. Yeah, that's what I run normally.
Yeah. A few are 3. A few are 2.
The density, the infill is so high because it's going to be carrying the weight of a camera.
Yeah.
Like you could put your DSLR on this thing that will hold it, but that's a lot of weight. So it needs to be able to take that and not flex.
Well, especially if you're going to put a lens like the one I got on here, which is, hold on.
I think I'm gonna get out of here, guys. I'm fading.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Take care. Have a great night. Nice
Thanks for
seeing
joining
you.
us. Take care, Zach.
See ya.
So guys, I said it a while ago, but there's a link. If anyone wants to come in and join, the link is there. A friend of mine found a YouTube channel called.
I would say,
oh yeah, I saw that, John.
That's pretty heavy.
Yeah, so you'll have to have a lot of counterweight in there too.
Yeah, that's a few pounds.
Yeah. So I was looking at the microjib, but before the microjib, there are files out there, and it's pretty complex for a star tracker that I want to 3D print. Then the star tracker allows you to mount a DSLR camera on the star tracker, and you polar align it. And what it does is it actually operates using a stepper motor, using side reel rate, so it actually follows stuff across the sky, and it allows you to do longer exposures of the night sky with a normal camera, without or with a small telescope, without having to have a big tripod or whatever for light stuff. It works. I know a lot of people who use them for like wide angle, like wide field of view, on it with a camera and a lens for night shots, or like of the Milky Way and so on. So I've been one, yeah. So I was going to do the Star Tracker first. I might just do it out of PETG. I have some different color PETGs. I might actually print it out in the next week or two. But that would be nice. What about you, Jerry? Any projects coming up?
Just trying to sell stuff to pay bills and get my tire situation figured out on my truck. And the Bamboo Labs, hopefully I'll get an email by the end of the month, which is within the next week, on when they might be shipping the X1 carbon to me.
Good.
Yeah, you just happened to order at a bad time because they're on their vacation.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming they're shipping it out of Texas, and I doubt the people in Texas are on vacation.
Well, that's if they have it in stock here, though. It could be they could be waiting for it to come in too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think there's 2 locations in America actually, but I know one's in Texas.
There's one in Texas, one in California, and the one in California mostly does the accessory kits, I believe.
That's where most of
my accessory kit came out of California.
Yeah, most of the stuff comes from California. When you order filament, most of it comes from California.
So that's maybe where their warehouse is for accessories,
Mm-hmm.
and in Texas could be their depot for their machines themselves. And any options for astrophotography with a phone? Yes, you could use a scar tracker. The new phones actually have night mode, like the new Samsung phones. My phone has a night mode, and actually, if you have it on a tripod, it actually does. It can do up to 5-minute exposures. So if you have it on a tripod fixed on a tripod, you can do a 5-minute exposures and it'll work. And
Wow.
it does stacking. Do you know what stacking is, guys?
No.
I can imagine. It takes a bunch of pictures and slaps them all together.
Yeah, because a digital camera is not taking photograph. It's detecting the amount of light being received by each pixel on the sensor, and it's data it's storing. It's actually not storing an image at all, right? So by taking all of that data and by doing multiples, the new Samsung phones, like my phone does, it actually will add those data pixels together and actually make the image more detailed, bring out more data. In astrophotography, we do that a lot. So yeah, you can do live. It actually does live stacking on the phones now. Or you could do it. Take the photographs with your phone. Problem is, older phones, the chips on them are so small and not as sensitive as it would be for a DSLR camera. So, like if you do the DSLR camera, you took lots of images, you can actually stack those images in software on your computer. So there are ways of doing it on your phone now with the newer phones. But even with an older phone or even an old DSLR, you take enough images. Don't go over 30 seconds because if you go over 30 seconds, you'll get star trails. Go ahead.
My Canon Rebel TI5 that had the bad shutter assembly that I bought off AliExpress.
Yeah.
It was $55 for the replacement. And when I tried to take it apart, underneath where the lens screws in, there's a little tiny screw that I stripped. So that kind of shot me in the foot right there. That's why I bought the new Canon camera. I guess I could try to sell it on online, and maybe somebody want to buy it for $75. I don't know.
Maybe.
But somebody might say, "Oh, I know how to get that screw out, and I got the new part to fix."
But if you bring it to a local, not a Canon store, and another camera repair store like an independent, they'll get it out for you.
Hey, there's the emblem.
Oh, it's a woodpecker. Yeah.
Ah.
I knew I had it somewhere.
I haven't tried Polycam. I know EM3D has scanning software that will work. Now, it depends on how big the sculpture is, but EM3D, Ethan makes 3D. If you have an Apple phone, like an Apple 10 or higher, I believe, or 12 or higher, I can't remember which one, but Marcus, he wrote the software, and it uses the LiDAR on the front facing. So like the screen-facing camera. But if you had two phones, two iPhones, you can actually pair them together with the software, and you can actually put them back to back. So one will show what the other sees. So because it uses the face recognition software and part of the lidar on the front of the phone for facial recognition, and you could actually use his software, and it actually does a pretty good scan. As long as the item is not black, it'll work. So check out EM3D on your if you have an iPhone, and it works. I've used my son has an iPhone. I don't have any bad apples, but my son has an iPhone, and it scans fine. It's just that you have to use the camera the other way around. So ideally, if you have two phones like yourselves and your wife's phone, if you're both Apple, yeah, Ethan makes 3D scanner. That's it. Yeah. So but if you use two iPhones, you can put them back to back. You pair them together. So this one here that you're looking at will see what this one sees. You can share the screen to each other, and by doing them back to back, you can actually do your 3D scan, and you can see what you're doing. And check him out on Facebook. He's on Twitter. I think he's on YouTube as well. And I'm not sure about Twitch, but Ethan's Makes is very good. Check him out. Marcus is a nice guy, and he wrote the software for his son. His son came up with the idea of doing stuff like that, and he's an Apple developer, so he actually wrote the software with the idea of his son, and they've been enhancing it ever since. And it's you can output as an STL file. You can clean up the mesh in the app and all if you want to. So it creates the point cloud, and you can actually cut parts out of it that you don't want to show up, like it gets some of the bits and pieces around it. You can cut them out of it all in the app. So it's nice software, but check out Marcus, yeah. And Marcus is the owner for Ethan Makes. Ethan Makes is named after his son, Ethan.
On the micro jib, this is the load box.
So you're going to put weight in there as a counterweight?
Yeah, I have. So I bought a bunch of these steel bearings.
Yeah, or you could get the lead ones as well, or whatever, like the lead weights or whatever, bags of them.
Yeah, I got I think about 8 bags of these, which is enough. Should be enough to counterweight, because that you have to test it and make sure that it's going to hold.
Yeah, to balance it. I would say try it with the bags, and then whatever space is left over, stuff it with foam.
Yeah,
you don't want them slapping around. So, because if they move the wrong way, if they move and you move and they move to the wrong side of the box, your camera goes. You don't want that happening.
A lot of screw holes up there. See that?
Well, actually, I'm surprised at screw holes. I would probably put magnets in there, small little neodymium magnets. Mounts underneath or above?
It mounts upside down. So there's a plate.
Oh.
Which this is where I ran out of the filament, as you can see.
Yeah.
So the cover goes on there, and then this mounts on the jib, and there are large thumb screws so that you can move it back and forth to adjust the weight, and then tighten the thumb screws.
Oh, like if that was me now, I'd have did it the other way, where that mounts on top, the thumb screws are underneath, and then you have that's your counterbalance slide.
Yeah, let's see on the.
Well, it is on top.
No, it's on the bottom, but it should be on the top.
The screws are on the bottom.
Yeah, that means it's right. Well, hey, Mika, Steve, 1 second.
Hey.
I'll come back to you, but I would have turned around and flipped. The holes they have on the top. I'd have put them on the bottom. That way you could top load it, and then just stick it on with magnets, and that way then it would still slide, but everything's held inside with the magnetic lid.
I would have to reverse. I would have to make all the
holes underneath. Yeah.
Yeah, underneath like that.
Or ping the guy who designed it and ask him would he do it for you.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't have to reprint it.
I would insert
either drill 4 holes or have to reprint either thing. Either way, it's worth.
You could drill it. You could drill it out.
This was almost done too.
Well, you could use that as a template and put it on the bottom and just drill them out for the holes for the stuff. And then when you do the lid, I would get some small neodymium magnets and then insert them into the holes and then make them stick together.
I don't know if that. I mean, there's a lot, but I don't know if that's going to hold all that weight.
But the weight's not going to go anywhere because the weight is sitting inside the bucket.
Yeah, but depending on which angle the camera's on, it could be in this position.
Yeah, but that wouldn't fall out because it's not being held on by the lid. It's being held by the lid. But turn it the other way around. Flip it upside down. The whole box. The
You
whole
mean
thing.
this way?
Now, if it's at an angle, the weight is resting on the walls. And it's like this, the weight is resting on this wall. If it's the side, it's resting on these walls. So the weight is going to be leaning against the walls, not the lid.
We'll see.
You see where I'm going
I'll
with it?
make some adjustments to it.
Well,
You don't
I'm
want,
just saying.
you don't want your weight rolling around and they're banging up the sides of the box. You
Yeah,
want
but
to be,
if he stuffs it with foam after he puts the weight, gets the right weight, and he stuffs it with
Yeah.
foam, then it won't move.
Yeah,
And you want that to be adjustable anyway. You put the heaviest thing on it, adjust it, and then you're going to move the weight around or change the weights depending on what you add to it later on.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of adjustment. If you look at that's all the way down at the bottom. I printed the beam that goes there. It's about that long.
Okay.
It's almost a matter of fact, I had to print it on an angle because I was afraid that. Anyway, it's about 250 millimeters long.
Okay.
So somewhere around there.
Nice. Wanted. Any suggestions on CAD for dummies? Completely lost trying to Tinkercad.
Tinkercad. I was just going to
Easiest thing in the world to use. You can make it. You can do a lot with Tinkercad. People don't realize there's certain things you can't do, but there is a lot you can do with Tinkercad.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to use. You basically drag the pieces out. You had a piece you drag out, you size it, and it's either a block, or it's a circle, or it's a semicircle, or it's a cone, whatever you want to bring out. And that item, when you click on it, can be a solid, or you click a button and it becomes a hole. So you make a long tube. If you want to drill a hole through something, you put a box, whatever you want to do, put a hole. I can show you actually. Let me get it. Let me open it. 1 second. We can show Tinkercad here. 1 second. It's the easiest way to do it.
And the nice thing about Tinkercad is it saves all your files
instantly.
And even years later, you can go back to it and find it. You don't have to worry about storing it on your computer.
So let me bring this over here. Let me go in here and I'll share my screen. And I'll show you it. On chip is good, but I believe you have to pay for that. Tinkercad is free. Share screen. I want to share this screen. So
I think Onshape is free as well, isn't it?
I don't know. Is it?
I think it's free as long as you don't want private stuff.
New 3D design. So you just create a new 3D design. Let me turn off the comments so you can see. You get a block. You bring the block out. You click on the block, drag it out here. You change its size. You got its dimensions there. You increase its height. Easy enough. If I want to put a hole right through that, I get the. Let's say I want to put a round hole, and this I want to rotate its direction. So I click on it, and I want to rotate it 90 degrees. There's 90 degrees. And I want to make it much longer. And I change its size. So I can actually take it from a circle. I can make it an oval shape, whatever I want. I can change its height. I can do all of this with it. And I can grab it. I can raise it up higher. And I can drag it into position. And I come over to the side again. And I'll say, okay, I want to put this right through that. So you see here, it's right through it. And then I selected two pieces, Control A, and I merge them. Now you get an object with a hole through it. It's that easy.
Yeah.
So Tinkercad is so easy. You can bring out text. You bring out all the different shapes. So you can bring out a heart, and let's say, okay, I want to raise the heart up. Let's not change its angle. At least leave it there. I'm going to raise it up on Z, drag it into position. Now I want to embed the heart inside that, so I can drag it over here. And since it's above it, I want to lower it down into the box, and now when I select them all again, and I merge them, now I have a box with a heart on top. So you can do an awful lot about it. Yeah, chat GPT. I do like Tinkercad for Arduino stuff. I've done a lot of stuff for Tinkercad. If I want to do something quick and dirty and very simple, I'll go to Tinkercad and I'll do it quickly. Like if I want to merge two parts or split a part up or whatever, I'll come in here and I'll do it here. And you have all these basic shapes, and then you can design starters where they have stuff pre-started for you, or you can go into electronics, so you can actually bring out the shape of the design of a battery to start you off or whatever. You have all these other options here that you can choose from. They've added a lot to it, like games. You have everyday objects that you come across, like TP roll. That's to scale. Wow. Okay.
That's a big one.
That's a big TV roll. So you can drag it, click it here, and then drag that down. You can change. You can do a lot with all these, or the scale is locked on this. Okay, so you can't. So that's weird. They lock the scale, but you can do all of this kind of stuff. You can do a lot with it, and if you don't want a part, just click on it, and then bang, it's got away. If you want to do it merged, you want to do it, select the object, and then click on merge, and then click again, and you can do on merge again because I wanted to. I click merge again. On merge. Now I can actually change the whole if I want to do it. You see it's in the center there. I want to move it up. I click on it. I move it up. Where's my Z? I need to move to the other side. Is it? Yeah.
Everyday objects. I've never seen those before.
They've added all these. Yeah, they've added a whole pile of stuff to Tinkercad.
I've never seen that.
Llama says he does a lot of editing. Like he'll import certain models and change them inside of Tinkercad.
I don't know enough about Shaper. I don't know enough about Shaper. My son knows more about Shaper, and he's at 16. And he knows more about Shaper because he actually did a course recently in school. He did CAD in school recently. But you can do an awful lot. I mean, an awful lot in Tinkercad. Like if you want to, let's see. This is where I want to go. No, where do I want to go?
My original
Chuck from Filament Friday does makes all his parts in Tinkercad. He does.
Yeah. Chuck Hallebuck does an awful lot in Tinkercad. Mm-hmm. It's very, 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 very powerful. People don't realize how powerful it can be. Like you have the shape generator, this thing we can actually take out. Like you put a spring out here, and you can change the spring size and all this kind of stuff. There's a lot, and if you make up your own shape, like there's one I do, and if you go back to your creations. The one thing about Tinkercad, if you go to basic shapes, if you bring out a shape like a circle, if you notice, it's got a lot of flat sides in it. Now, you can increase that up to 64, but it's still a lot of flat surfaces. So what I have done is I have a video actually on how to do this. If you check out my YouTube, there's a video out there of how to make this a smooth circle. So if you go to from basic shapes, if you go to the ones I created and bring this out, that's a smooth circle. Look, there's no flat surfaces on that, and you can do that with other curved shapes like that. There's a way to do it, and I explain in the video. I'm not going to explain it here. It's basically you calculate the distance, the length of each piece, and how many angles it is, how many segments of a circle, and you basically copy it and turn it half that distance, and then merge them, and then do it again and turn it a quarter the distance, and do it again. And turn an 8, and basically what you're doing is you're getting so many small flat spots that it becomes a smooth circle. I have a video that explains how to do it, but there's no curves. If you really, really zoom in, you can just about see coloration lines there because it's so many small flat surfaces. If you really scale it up, you'll see them.
That's good to know. I'm going to have to watch that video.
Yeah. So I have actually a lot of people seem to like that video. So you can see the lines now.
Yeah.
And I scale it way up because I made so many small flat surfaces by rotating and merging, and then calculating the angle, rotating and merging, and repeating the process over and over again, that you get so many small flat surfaces. By the time when you scale it down to normal size, it's actually a smooth circle, and your printer will
Liam,
see a smooth curve.
go to private chat and share this link.
What is that? Is that my YouTube?
Yep.
Okay, thank Jerry found the YouTube. There it is. There's the instructions of how to do it, step by
I would
step.
never have you share anything that somebody couldn't watch.
Yeah, that's step by step of how to do it. So yeah, this is really good. I've done a lot of stuff in here. I mean, an awful lot of stuff. So, and I like Tinkerhead. As I said, I've done a lot of stuff. I actually did the new face of my Bamboo Labs. For my Bamboo, like I did some changes here. I made these brackets. I made these in Tinkercad. I did this holding box. I actually made the James Webb. This is an interesting one, actually. Tinker this. I actually made a maker coin for the James Webb Space Telescope in here.
Oh, nice.
All in Tinkercad. So you can do, it's very powerful. You can do an awful lot with it if you're creative enough. What's the other one? Like I took the logo for my.
Did you import a picture to make that logo like that?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, and you can bring the image in, and you adjust it and see. It's possible. So where is the one I was looking for?
Oh, you can do that in Tinkercad?
You can do a lot in Tinkercad, yeah. So let me go in here, tinker this. So what I did here is I took the sides for the Bamboo Labs, and I actually embedded my own logo into it.
Uh-huh.
So now when I print the size for my P1P, I'll actually have my logo embedded in the side of it.
Cool.
I'll put them on and then take them back off before putting it in a box.
Sorry?
Send it back. Print it out, put it on. Just take them off to put them back in a box to send it out.
Well, I haven't printed it, so that's why I'm waiting to figure out and get it work. If they fix the issue, and if they do, I'll have my sides for it.
I got a question before I forget to ask.
Go ahead.
My original CR10 that I've been wanting to put up for sale, which had the thermal runaway issues and I had to replace the bed heater wires. I got that done. Well, I keep having under extrusion. I've replaced the gear on the extruder, which is a different gear than what comes stock. I've replaced the Capricorn tube. I've replaced the nozzle. There's nothing wrong on the filament path, but I keep having under extrusion. So I don't get it because from point A to point Z, I've replaced everything that might be causing under extrusion.
Do you still have that black plastic feeder arm that's
the
on there?
extruder arm, yeah. Is it plastic?
No, that's all been upgraded years ago with McQueen 3D. I put a nice steel extruder with a different gear that the extrusion multiplier has to be set to 99. It's got like a billion teeth in it all the way around. I replaced that gear. Going in and out of the extruder, it's got a metal tube on one side and a piece of Capricorn tube on the inlet side, so you can print TPU with it. I replaced the cap tube, which is I think TH3D tough tube, from there to the MK8 extruder. Replaced the nozzle, and I'm doing a couple test prints, and of course it's going click, 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 and I keep getting under extrusion, and I can't seem to figure out
what have you cleared out? You've cleared out the nozzle. Have you cleared out the Capricorn all the way down to the nozzle?
Yeah.
Have you replaced the nozzle?
Yeah. Okay. What I'm going to have to do is take off the Dave Petzl. I've got a Petzfang V2 on it. I got to take all that back apart, take off the nozzle, take out the coupler on top, run the PTFE all the way through and make sure it's clear because there might be something in the way.
Possibly.
That's the only thing I can think. Other than that, but there shouldn't. The extruder shouldn't be clicking.
Where the PTFE and the nozzle meet, there could be filament built up there.
And even when I have it midair and I have it up to temp and I just go extrude so much filament and I crank it up to like 30 millimeters, it'll even start click, click, click doing that. So there has to be blockage.
Something's got to be holding it back. Yeah. What temperature are you?
210, 215.
Is the gears for the extruder, are they worn or is there full of filament?
I cleaned out the one that was there, and I found another one I had, and I replaced it.
Yeah, he said it was clicking, so like the stepper motor was.
Yeah, but if it was clogged, it would make a clicking sound too.
Yeah, the teeth aren't clogged; the teeth are clean. No, the fan's not on backwards.
And there's enough and it worked fine before. Yeah, it just started recently.
Well, no, I haven't used the thing in like a year. It's been in my enclosure, and now I decided I'm going to sell it. So I got to make sure it's working in proper good order and do a whole bunch of prints with it before I put it up for sale.
Check the wires going to your stepper motor.
They're turning They're turning the right direction. I got a TH3D Easy board in this particular CR10.
Then it's either, and you replace the board and tube and everything.
Okay, when I put the TH3D board in it, I printed with ABS. The thing worked fine. When I first started working on this a few weeks ago, it had dual Z's on it that I put on it that are split into one connector. And for some reason, when I went to raise the gantry, the stepper on the right side was really acting up on me. So I went to the Y. I completely took off that stepper. I clipped the wires at the Y, and I put it back to stock basically. So I was having trouble with the one stepper going up and down on it.
Yeah, I think it might be. You're right, Lamas. I kind of mentioned it a while ago that you'll have to heat it up, remove the nozzle, remove the PTFE tube.
Yeah, and then I'll just I can run it all the way through.
Yeah. To use it.
There's got to be something in the way because it shouldn't be doing that.
And then,
what's the power supply size?
Yeah, my thought was when everybody stopped talking was maybe check your power supply.
Yeah, check your power supply.
Because if you're having problems with one stepper motor,
check your voltage. Make sure you're not dropping. Run it and see how much the voltage drops. If your voltage is dropping too much, your power supply.
Yeah. So this is another one that was on the Tinkercad, and it's a mount for the H2O extruder for my big printer, and all of this is up there, the whole cables and stuff, and the water feed because it's a water cooled extruder, all Tinkercad.
And you did all that in Tinkercad, right?
Yep.
Nice. You
can do an awful lot in Tinkercad. A lot of people don't realize how powerful Tinkercad can really be. Like I said, I do a lot of stuff in there. If I want to do something quick and easy and dirty, you don't have to deal with planes or like doing sketches and extrusions and all. You don't have to do that. You just drag the parts out, and as if you do it in your mind, where do I want to hold? I want to hold this size, this shape here. Drag it over, make it a hole. You're done.
Now let's talk about OpenSCAD. How crazy you can get stuff in there.
Yeah, but OpenSCAD you need to be able to write. The OpenSCAD is how is best to describe it? You need to understand how shapes are built, and because you need to be able to tell it and describe it in detail of what you want. But it's powerful.
Yeah,
like you can write one command to make a cog.
Yeah,
one line. But it's OpenSCAD is all command line.
Mm-hmm.
You type the command and it creates it for you based on your command.
Yeah, you don't need a GUI to do anything. It's just all typing it out.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do stuff proper in real CAD, but depending on what you do, if you want to do something quick and dirty, Tinkercad is fantastic. And it doesn't cost you a penny. So, and like I know Fusion is free too, but like Tinkercad, your learning curve is like this. In Fusion, your learning curve is like this. And it just keeps going and going and going up the screen.
Race by Tom Lama.
Yeah, nice one, Tom.
And it should have been in rainbow, but in my slicer in Simplified 3D, I picked the wrong nozzle on my iPad printer.
Oh, hey, when you get the bamboo, I wonder if you could do the heart in a different color.
Sure, you just go in and you touch each one of them and change them whatever color you want.
Color them, yeah, and they do it in a different color. That would be cool.
Yeah, I've seen another thing that somebody showed in the video. I haven't experimented with it, and you have it running currently, but you can throw an STL in Bamboo Studios, and you click a button on the top somewhere, and it blows the whole model apart, and then you just touch every color you want, and then it puts it back together, and you print it.
If you have it divided into pieces first, though, yeah. Yeah, you can do that on a couple of slicers. You select it, and you say divide by part or something like that's called, and it actually does break it up for you. Prusa Slicer can do that. I believe Cura can do it. I know Idea Maker can do it.
I've never seen any of them that actually pull the model apart on your screen. You just touch what you want to do with what color.
Yeah, Prusa slicer. I wonder if that's just because the bamboo slicer is
Prusa.
forked off of the Prusa slicer, and I think it might be a little bit like tweaked a little bit, but I do that for the IDEX in there. So,
and it also has the other option where you can actually just select an area as surface, and it'll change, and you can assign it to a different color.
Mm-hmm.
So what you do in advance is you go in and you you configure it in the AMS which colors in which one, and then you go in and you assign the color. When you assign the color, it takes on the color.
Hey, old C.
Hey, old Curmudgeon, how are you? Oh, that went live on printables. Nice. I'll have to print that out. I'll print that phase. I won't do it on my P1P because it doesn't print very nice at the moment. I'll print it on something else.
It'll be all ribbed.
Yeah, you'll have all these vertical. Oh, that actually might add a nice pattern to it, actually. Now that I think about it, even though it's a flaw in the printer, it might add these nice vertical lines. It might give it a nice shimmering effect. What do you think?
Worth a shot.
Yeah. Even the star desk I did, you can see it on that. Let me unplug it. On the star desk, on the flat walls on it.
Private chat, share this, please.
Sure. Just 1 second. You see the ribs there?
Yeah.
And that's a flat wall. No,
Yeah.
I don't think it's ringing, but they say print faster. It is there's something causing vibration somewhere.
Thank you, Tom. He shared my picture on printables and put where it came from. Thank you.
Go ahead.
I was going to say that link that Liam's going to share. It's for Tom Lama.
Yeah, that's the vase.
There you go.
Go ahead, Shane.
So I was watching some videos on the Voron stuff, and apparently there was an issue with the really small Voron, the Voron 0.
0.1, yeah.
Yeah, where it had the vertical lines exactly like that. And in that case, it was actually the stepper motors that were the issue on that one.
Oh, it could be that too.
Yeah, there was something weird with the stepper motor, and they had to swap out stepper motors on it.
So it could be stepper motors. It could be a problem with the belts. It could be a problem with the idlers.
Yeah.
It could be the accelerometer is not measuring properly, and it's creating that effect. It could be nothing feels.
How does it know that the belt isn't tight enough? Is that through the accelerometer?
The accelerometer says it keeps saying the y-axis is not tight enough. And it's not.
Yeah, I actually wonder if that's actually what it is. I wonder if the accelerometer is.
I seen a guy do a video, and the resonance that it does, and knows the vibration on the printer and the table. He put a 2x4 underneath his table while it was printing very carefully, and it detected a change in frequency and told him on the screen.
Oh, it does, yeah.
It picked up. I mean, it's like, in other words, if you go by and hit your hand on the counter real hard next to the printer while it's working, it's going to detect that motion.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it picks up all vibration. But it keeps saying the y-axis is not right. So I do think the more I think about it, and the more I play around with it.
Earthquake is coming! Run, run, run!
Yeah, yeah. new feature. You have a problem on the X and Y axis. Get under the table.
Yeah.
But Llama, jump in.
Imagine printing in California.
How
do they deal with ringing and stuff when the ground beneath them shakes? You can't.
When the power just randomly goes out.
Oh yeah, that too.
When I was in my early 20s, there was a bad quake in California, and I was here in Vegas. I was sleeping in bed in a water bed, and it was like a dog or something jumped on the bed. It was just sloshing everywhere. I got up to ran to the door to go outside, and I almost fell down. It was just honestly like a wave under my feet, like it tripped me almost. Yeah. And the ground didn't move, but it did. It's kind of hard to explain that sensation.
So it's interesting.
When I was about 15 or 16, I was living in New York. Now, I've always been an early person to wake up. So I'm sitting in the front of my apartment building about 6:30 in the morning or so. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I feel, right? So I run upstairs and I tell my mother, I says, we just had an earthquake. My mother looks at me and she says, we're in New York. You didn't get no earthquake. Later, it came on the news that there was a minor earthquake felt in New York. I said,
wow. Here's one thing that most people don't realize. even New York or wherever you are, any tall building you go up to, if you ever go up to the top of the building, take a step or two back from it and lean against the railings and just stand there. You will feel the building sway in
Yeah.
the wind.
Yeah.
They're designed to do that.
Yeah.
Just like in Vegas, I've been in a tower where it'll be connected to another tower, and there's like a threshold they put in between them that moves, and they actually
Yeah.
move
Oh
a
yeah,
little
the
bit
bridge
back and
between
forth.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I've actually on the Eiffel Tower on a windy day up in the Eiffel Tower. You lean there and you can actually feel it.
Hey, Mad
sway.
Cat.
You can actually feel the sway of the Eiffel Tower in the wind.
Yeah.
All those years, I actually watched while they were building the Twin Towers. And you know, I never got to go into the Twin Towers. I've been up in the Empire State Building, but never went up on the Twin Towers.
Well,
And I saw it from ground up.
I never even saw them other than TV because that happened before I came here, before I moved here. I was living in Germany at the time, but I was actually at home in Ireland, and we saw it in the morning news. Or it was probably around lunchtime, actually, our time. We saw it in the news, and I was watching it, and the cameras were focused on it, and I turned around and I said, I turned around to my sister who sitting beside me. I said, "That's going to fall. That's coming down." And she says, "No way." 5 minutes later, the first one crumbled,
Mhm.
and I looked at the second one, and I went. A few minutes later, I said, "That's going as well." You could tell, you could see it was going to happen.
By the time when the first one fell, before the second one fell, I'm sorry, but all the cops and firefighters should have got the hell out of the building because there's a good chance it's coming down too.
But
Yeah, they're trying
that's
to
what
save
they
lives,
do, man.
man.
That's what they do. They run today. They're trained to run today.
I mean, I'd run into danger to help people, but if the one came down, obviously it's probably going to happen to this one. I'll wait and see in an hour, and then I'll go help people. Let's make sure it's not coming down.
No, they don't do that because they say we'll get as many as we can out of there.
Mhm.
And they're trained to go towards danger. And like
So sad.
a lot of people say, like during the pandemic, they were saying about about the nurses and so on, like being heroes, and they are because they were involved with all that. Hey Dan, how's life?
How you doing?
But the guys,
Dan.
the guys who went into those buildings, like I know the military only gets the Congressional Medal of Honors and stuff. You know what? All of those guys deserve them all because like what they did, and what they do every day is astounding. Like they just put their life ahead of everything else.
Sergio, were you a cop at that time when that happened?
Yeah, I was in the department. Yeah, and the first thing I did was I called the station. Said, "What are we doing?" And they said, "You're on standby." That's all they said.
Yeah, because they already had so many people already in there, and they wanted to do backup is what they needed.
Yeah,
When they needed
everybody was running in. Everybody was.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the debris. Everybody was getting lung cancer and dying from all the debris and the asbestos and everything involved in the aftermath.
My brother was there. My brother was a paramedic, and he was in Philadelphia for a private company. His boss called him on the radio and called several ambulances and told them, "Head to New York right now." My brother's like, "What? Yeah, just head to New York. Go.
Hey,
They're going to be waiting for you at the entrance to the tunnel." He was there.
Thomas, hey man. Maker Viking, how are you, sir? So if anyone wants to come in and hang out, there is a link. Oh, that was a wrong link. I was reposting the link to
Pornhub, right? Yeah.
No, to the vase. Llama vase. So if you want to come in, guys, the link is there. You're welcome. What are you laughing at, Dan? We know that's all you ever watch. We know you better than that. Oh, Dan, are you going to Murph this year? And what about you, Shane?
Yeah, I'll be going to Murph.
You're making dinner?
I may be going.
You may be going.
Yeah, because if I go, I'm not driving this time.
I'm going to drive. It's only a 4-hour drive for me.
And it's 9 hours for me, and that.
But for you, it's an overnight thing.
Yeah.
So I'll be. If anybody else in chat is going to Murph, let me know. Or you're going to the whatever how you enunciate that one.
Rocky Mountain.
The Rocky Mountain one. Yeah, I'm not going to the Rocky Mountain. That's in Colorado. That's too long a haul for me. But I'll be going. I'll be at Murph for the Saturday. I'll drive down Saturday morning. I leave here about 5 or 6 in the morning, and I'll be there by the time it's open. And then I'll leave after 5 or 6 when it's kind of winding up, and head home. It's like I did last year.
Yeah, I don't know how my days off are going to be, so I want to make sure I have days off for the days I want to go and do stuff. So,
and I was pretty upset. What's today? Tuesday? Yeah, Sunday night. I was pretty upset. I was bummed out all night after watching the Dallas game. I was hoping, and I'm sorry. They needed. I like Dak Prescott, but they need to get rid of Dak Prescott. I'm sorry, he's got to go. That's the last time they won a preseason game was like 29 years ago, and they finally got back there. And then, man, what a game!
There was a game.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not into the American sports. I find them too slow. So,
yeah, the 49ers quarterback was college. He's only had 6 starts in NFL.
There.
Yeah, he done good.
Yeah.
Hey, Vince, hello.
What do you think, 49ers or Eagles?
The Eagles are a good team. I'll have to wait. I don't know.
I tell you what, a lot of people are saying 49ers. I'm thinking Eagles.
Yeah, last time I seen Eagles play, they were awesome, and 49ers done really well. But
they've only lost one game all this year, and that was to my team.
Yeah,
the Commanders.
Let me see this.
Yeah, the Commanders done really well. Last game I seen, they walked all over Dallas.
The new quarterback. You see, they got a new quarterback in there now. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I know what you mean, Mike Cat.
Yeah, their kicker on this game, the game before this last one, he missed 4 in a row, kicking field goals, and then this game, they tried to run in a touchdown or whatever it is, I forget, get 3 points, and instead of having him kick, and then when he did finally kick, he made a couple in a row because they were scared to use him.
So not too many guys here are sports fans, huh?
No.
Well,
and with that, I'm going to actually hop off. I'll talk to you guys later.
Oh, okay, Shane.
Have a great night. Take care. Thank you very much.
Shane.
Hope to see you Saturday.
So if you want to see a
busy Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, have a great week.
Let me show you. Let me bring in Llama first, and I'll show you this. Hey, Tom.
Sup, Llama?
Let me show you this. If you want to see a fast,
he just got out of the shower and he's getting dressed.
Yep.
If you want to see a fast field sport, guys, I don't know how well this will play. Let's try it. If you want to see, this is in slow-mo. Give it a second. Let me get up to proper games. Is there any full speed?
What are we watching?
This is all slow-mo. This is the fastest field sport in the world.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, I'll tell you what, I got to hand it to soccer players that have to run the whole game as much as they run.
That's what these guys do.
You kick the ball down that in the field, so you run down there as fast as you can. Then they kick it this way. You try and run all the way back. That's just crazy how much running they have to do in a game.
Yeah, but this is like lacrosse on steroids. Very fast game. I mean, unbelievably fast game. And that stick that they're hitting it with is called a hurley. If that thing hits you, man, it's like getting slapped with a baseball bat in the head.
Yeah.
My water bottle. Oh crap! My water bottle's out.
I'm sure people hit each other all the time with it.
Oh, they do in this all the time.
Purpose.
No, but by mistake it does happen. But yeah, look, it's super fast.
By mistake. Yeah.
Hey, get my water bottle. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, accidentally on purpose. But it's such a fast sport.
Look, the llama has a crown on him now.
So is it a queen llama now? Yeah, no pads. And some guys wear helmets. Not everybody. It was some. No, some wear face shields, like over like off the helmet. They have a mesh, a wire mesh, but most don't. Man, that sport is. I played it as a kid, and I'm telling you, on a lot of what they used to do when I was younger, the end of the hurley comes out and widens out. It's called the boss. The white part at the end is called the boss. And they used to put straps, metal straps, like the metal straps where when you get blocks delivered to the construction site, Jerry, they're in a metal strap.
Banding.
Metal banding, right?
Banding,
so they put the metal strap banding around the end to reinforce it. And I was actually at a game once, and it was only at local club level. I think the guys were 18, 19. And the guy, one of the guys hit the ball, and the banding came off, and he didn't notice it. And he went in for it, and then he chased it. He went up the field, and the ball came in high, so he went up to get the ball up high.
Hey, Steven.
And swung for it. Hey, Steve. And when he swung for it, it came down and he hit the guy beside him.
Hey, Joe.
The banding that was sticking out went into the guy's eye, and when he pulled it out, the guy's eye came with it.
Oh,
wow.
And that like there's another guy when I was one of the regional teams when I was growing up, they were playing a game, and the guy got hit a few times actually with the hurley, and he kept playing. At the end of the game, they went to check him out, and they hauled him off in an ambulance.
Share the link again.
Sure. Yeah. Let me just copy the link again. 1 second.
My wife got mad at me earlier today. She said, "Why are you always telling Liam how to run his stream? Why don't you shut up and let him do it?" And I said, "I'm trying to help him."
He's helping because when I get talking, I forget about stuff. So, but
and
the reason I said,
was it raining?
The reason I said hi, Joe, randomly is because when I said hi, Steven, you just said it without reading your screen. So I done hi, Joe, to see if you'd say hi,
yeah,
Joe.
no, I glanced at the screen. Nice, trying to catch me out, but yeah, I caught it. No, but the other guy here said he in the first quarter of the game, he got hit in the head, right? And he played the rest of the game. He had no helmet on. Fantastic player. He played the rest of the game. They hauled him off at the end. He played the rest of the game with three skull fractures.
Sergio, when you bought your X1 Carbon with AMS, did it come with 3 partial spools?
Two.
Yeah.
2. And they're interlocking, right? So once the filament's gone, you can keep them and use them.
No, you can reuse those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my point is, so technically I would only have to print 2 in order to have 4.
You want extras because when you want the next roll, you want to prepare it in case you want to change rolls that are not totally used yet.
Yeah.
You can store them.
Hey, Eric, how are you?
And my Ziltech filament, before I ordered 12 rolls, I checked online and they said that they roll perfectly fine with the AMS unit. So I just have to go in and pick the color, I guess. Assign a color to the rolls.
Yeah, get plastic spools. They work better in it. Cardboard spool. I don't have the AMS, but I've read enough to say cardboard spools don't put them in it.
So for the polymaker,
put the rings on it.
Let the camera follow me.
Rings on it works fine.
For the polymaker,
you have the plastic loops to go around the edge.
See, I did the
home drawn.
on it. See,
do they work pretty good?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So far, I have no issues.
Oh, that's going to be painful, Eric.
Why am I waiting for someone to start putting like ghetto spinners on them?
Say that again.
Cars with the ghetto spinners.
Yeah.
One of the things you want to print, I'll send you a list. I'll send you one of the things you want to print are these for the AMS because the buttons are a little small and so they're a pain. And this is a nice extension, and you put a little piece of PTFE tubing in here, sit it down on the button, and it locks in so that you can push it to load and unload quickly.
There is a floor rate. Well,
Hey, Phoenix. Hey, Homegrown.
Yeah, I did say hi already. So, flow calibration. If you go to Teaching Tech, his GitHub, he's got a flow calibration test there. And instructions of how to use it.
Yeah, I'm sore as hell today. I had to change a tire on my truck that blew out yesterday, and I haven't had a job in a lot of years. So changing that tire completely wiped me out. Today, my back hurts, my muscles and my butt are sore. I'm just limping around today.
He's sore in places he didn't even know he had places.
Knows when you work construction, you're working 5-6 days a week, going 100 miles an hour, then you retire. And all of a sudden, your body slows down. You lose a lot of your muscle, and everything hurts.
Okay. Take care, Uncle Jim.
Yeah, I got one of them too.
When you get this, it's all done.
Yeah.
Everything you heard.
Yeah. So Jerry is sore in places he didn't even know he had places.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine.
I find that if I'm out doing a lot of work in the garden, doing stuff around the house, not so much, but out working in the garden. And I don't go out there for a half an hour or 20 minutes. If I go out there, I'm out there for 4 hours, right? In most cases, 5 hours or whatever. And yeah, you feel it afterwards. Just found out yesterday that you can do a flow calibration with for the bamboo P1P, but you have to do it from the devices tab in the slicer. I've not had that issue. I suppose I should look at it, but you took tramadol, yeah, for pain. But Solar Warrior,
I can't do tramadol. I got one here somewhere.
my P1P is having problems. I can
Show us. Go grab a print and show us. We got a minute.
I don't have to go grab a print. I have one here.
Okay.
How'd that Christmas tree go there?
You see those lines?
Sergio?
I'm getting that on all my prints on any
vertical line.
flat wall.
Looks like toothpick.
Now, and any round surface, the round surfaces are great, but the straight walls, I have this effect. And when I print faster, and the amount of lines on the straight walls decreases, but I get a huge echoing on corners and stuff. So
you got a loose belt or you got a loose freaking pulley or something.
It's not a loose belt. I've checked them all. It's not the pulleys are all fine. I've checked them. I'm thinking it's either a bad bearing, possibly somewhere in there that I haven't found, or it's somebody. Shane said earlier on that somebody else had a problem with a Voron on the V01, and the issue was the stepper motors were bad.
It's possible.
So it's either. So I think it's either it could be a bad idler somewhere along the process, or it could be a stepper or the accelerometer. It's not in my head, Dan. You can actually feel it. No, I know I have a loose screw. I know that for sure. I have
Dan,
somewhere.
Dan, more than one. There's quite a few in there rattling around that don't.
Well, if I shake enough, you can hear a rattle. Yeah, getting weird tops and bottoms on the pins.
Hey guys, it's almost my bedtime, so I'm gonna head on out because you know me.
Yeah, you're an early to bed guy.
I'm in early.
You have an awesome night. Thanks for joining in.
Rise. Take care, everyone. Bye, everybody in chat.
Yeah.
Dan, everybody, take care.
I get good top surfaces on my P1P. My top and bottom surfaces seem to be okay.
Why can't I leave Tom 5 stars? I commented on Tom's base on printables. I left a comment. I wanted to leave him 5 stars, and I can't.
Do you know why, Jerry?
You got to actually post a print.
Well, no, the reason why you can't leave 5 stars is because no one's perfect.
You got to post a print. You can actually take your picture and just repost it. I used your picture.
Take care, Sergio.
Yeah, I've seen that. Thank you.
Great time to go sleep. 8 to 10 is. No, well, yeah. Well, my normal sleep is somewhere from 10 at midnight.
Print, I think.
And then I'm up at anywhere between 4 and 5 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, I've been getting up late lately. Like not until almost 6, and that's like really late for me.
Yeah.
I'm usually up at like 4:30. I'm up bouncing around.
Yeah, no, I normally go somewhere between. I normally get to sleep around midnight, and I'm up at 4 or 5, depending on what day it is. So if you design something, then post on printables. Do yes, Eric, do. It's
yeah, definitely
share your work if you want it available free.
Even if you think it's crap, it's probably not.
And on top of that, like if we're open to sharing it freely, go to printables, right? That's what printables is all about. If you want someone to pay for it, and you think it's worth people paying for it, then you go to Cults or somewhere like that. Oh yeah, Cults really. Oh, Lama, you saw my my venting rocket, did you?
Yeah, I saw you smoking rocket on both. I think on Twitter and Facebook. I actually sort of half-assed watched your stream yesterday. I was doing other things.
I put it everywhere because like it's a cool desktop.
It's cool. It's worth putting everywhere.
I have it here.
Is that a print or is that just a regular model?
It's a print.
Printed.
That's what I thought.
You buy the kit, they give you everything and make it smoke, and they give you the files.
Look at the look on his face. He's like a little 5-year-old kid.
Oh, I'm all over it. I'm talking with the guy about making a bigger version.
Just scale it up.
No. You have to because
the way everything interlocks.
Well, the humidifier, the ultrasonic humidifier disc,
Hey, Dominic,
will only shoot it so tall. So you'd actually have to. If I made it as big as this rocket here, you'd about here. I'd have to put the venting, and I'd have to put another one in the one above it. I'd have to do 2-stage.
Yeah,
I made a lot of toys too.
Printables is like it
could be missing. I haven't had anybody
has the best design for like uploading your file, tagging it, setting it up. I still think Thingiverse has the best design. It's just the simplest. Thangs is terrible. I hate posting it. I won't even post on Thangs anymore. And I don't have a problem with.
I don't like Thangs.
Actually, posting something on Thangs is like a nightmare. It makes no sense to me.
I prefer printables. Like Thingiverse has a lot of designs and stuff that aren't on printables. Thingiverse has a lot of stuff that's not there, but I prefer printables. It's got a real nice front end. It's good looking, and you can rotate look at everything. I like how it functions.
Yeah, I go to printables unless I can't find it on printables, and then I'll go to Thingiverse or my manufacturer Colts or.
Dominic,
Thingiverse, I gotta say, you can tell they've been working on it since.
They've made some changes
because it's running a whole lot cleaner now.
Aren't they teaming up with is it Printables they're teaming up with, or is it they're teaming up with somebody else?
Who?
Is it who is Printables?
Ultimaker and MakerBot.
No, they're teaming up with somebody. I think it might be Printables. I think Printables and Thingiverse are now are in collaboration.
I don't know.
Or is it them and Tangs?
I don't like that on Twitter. You can't edit. It really pisses me off. You have to delete your post and start over. You can't.
You can if you want to pay your $8 a month.
If you get a blue dot and verify, you can edit.
That's bullshit.
Then you can edit and tell.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
There's too many other platforms. I don't need to do all that.
Sorry.
Just another $8 going out that I don't have.
He proved everything he said he was a hypocrite.
Yeah, it wasn't Dominic.
Yegi.com is the main search engine that almost everybody's under their umbrella. So
one second. I want to answer Dominic. So Dominic, you said about the missing bearing. I haven't heard anyone saying that they have a problem with that. So if there is issues out there, I haven't seen any posts about someone saying there's a missing bearing and they have this issue. So if you have seen a link like that, let me know. Send me the link.
That would do it.
Yeah, if there's a bearing missing on the X carriage, because that could cause it. So possibly, yeah. I'm not going to do a comet stream because I live in Michigan, and the chance of getting a clear sky to set up a scope to look at a comet is
very limited.
There's two hopes. There's Bob Hope and No Hope, and Bob Hope is dead. So, right? So the chance of getting clear
that was good, Liam.
You like that? Okay. I've been using that for years.
I'm gonna kick out of that one.
Yeah. So you have two choices, little and none. But in Michigan, in January, in December and January, especially in January, we average 1, maybe 2 clear nights in the month. In February, it's around the same. March goes up to about 3 or 4 clear nights. April goes up to about 8. May is a mixed bag, but we can get up to maybe a quarter of the month is clear, 10, maybe 12 days. And then when we hit June, July, and August, we get so many clear nights, it's unbelievable. Okay, Dan, good night. Have a good one.
Take care, Dan.
The best time for viewing is anytime from now onwards because it's pretty bright. You can see it right now in a pair of binoculars.
Okay, what about the blue comet or the green comet? When did that happen? A couple weeks ago?
It's happening right now.
I should be able to go outside and see it?
With a pair of binoculars, yeah.
Okay.
Away, you have to get far from Vegas. So in Vegas,
because it's too bright from city lights.
Vegas is so bright, you need to be about 50 or 80 miles away from Vegas to see it.
Yeah, when I go outside, I see very few stars. I'm up on the corner of Vegas, but I still got all the light behind me lighting up the sky.
Oh, you're leaving?
That's right.
Yeah, I got to do something.
Take care, Tom. Have a good night.
Take care, man. So let me.
Oh no! We need more people to drop in.
Yeah, guys, the link is.
Come on in the chat with us, guys.
So let me find exactly where it is right now. 1 second, then I'll find exactly where it is. Actually, I can check it on my phone. Let me find out exactly where it is. Sky Live will tell me where it is.
Matt'll be popping back in any time now.
Probably.
He's got a good night's rest for the last half hour.
Yeah, I'm just looking for the comet.
I bet you Matt's in chat.
Yeah.
Giveaway.
Thomas, where's the one I'm looking for? I'll get it on my phone, be easier. Yeah, you need to get away from the cities. The city's a killer. Just let me load up an app on my phone. 1 second, guys, and I'll find out exactly where it is. Tonight, so it's easy to find.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Have you seen this? And I'm sure it's real, but you tell me if it's real or not. It was on Facebook. I shared it.
Before you do that, Jerry, let me show this, okay? Why do you just load it up, and I'll show it when it's ready. So, if you see the Big Dipper here, the screen changed. Sorry, I turn on. I need to turn off the compass mode, and I'll show it again. Sorry, it's up here by the Big Dipper. It's right. It's directly below the Big Dipper. So right now it's in the northwest and it's rising. So if you see the two stars here, it moves again. It keeps going into the mode of the guide mode. So under Dubé and Merak, which are two stars on the end of the Big Dipper, cancel. Ask me later. Okay, so you all know the Big Dipper, right? You have 4 stars for the bowl, 3 stars for the handle. On the end of the bowl, you have the 3 stars of the handle here, and you have the bowl. The 2 stars here, which are known as the pointer stars, that actually draw a line to point to the North Polaris. Below that is where you'll find it. So it's a bit down. So it's a roughly the half the length of the gap between the 2 end stars of the bowl, roughly half that down from the bottom star is where you'll find it down there in the night sky right now. So Jupiter, yes. That's an transit event, an occultation event as well. Yeah.
It almost looks like it's, I don't know, CGI or something fake.
It depends where it came from. What's the source? Oh, that's from. That's by Cassini. No, that's real. That's real. That's during a Cassini flyby.
All right.
Yeah, so that's going back to great. It's going past the Great Red Spot on Jupiter. On Jupiter. So it's going right by the Great Red Spot. As a link in Whisper. So let me have a look. What's that link you sent me? Virtual telescope. Oh yeah, you can see it in the virtual telescope. Yeah, is it showing it live right now? Let me see. I'll just wait for the ads to finish, and I'll have a look, Eric, because we can see it live. Yeah, it's just rising, so it's going to be low on the horizon right now. So if it is showing it, my guess is it's probably using a telescope in Europe, like in the Canaries or somewhere, right now. Let's see when it comes up. If it does, I'll show it. There's just all these ads because of it's Newsweek. So we'll wait for those to finish, and I'll show you. Okay, that's come on. That's not showing it live. These are all time lapses, Eric. Virtual telescope is what we're looking for. Let me see what it shows there. As I said, so you can see it out there live, and then we're looking for ZTF comet. They have a web TV. Let me see if they have it up on their web TV. They might show it live. That's Venus and Saturn meeting. Yeah, they don't have it up there, and they're not showing it live right now. So there is a couple of places that will be showing it live. It's good right now, but it's just rising, so it's low on the horizon right now. As it gets higher in the sky, it gets easier to read. So as the night goes on, like around midnight, it'll be really good, or early in the very early AM. It can be really good as a really good target. And as I said, now, does anybody know why it's green? No? Anyone want to hazard a guess? Are you there?
Yeah.
Why it's green?
Why it's what green?
Why is a comet tail green?
Probably debris from space that happens to be green. When Superman's homeworld blew up, that's probably from that.
That's Krypton. No.
Krypton.
It's actually water. It's water.
Okay.
So a comet
it came from Great Lake Mead then, because Lake Mead water here is green. It's like, yeah, nasty.
Well, it's not that. That's because of the algae. But water, comet is made of is a dirty snowball. Snow is made of ice, and ice sublimates from the sun. So ice is made of water, right? Hydrogen and oxygen, H2O. When you ionize, because it's been sublimated into space from the sun and so on. When you ionize oxygen glows green. So every comet has some green in it. Every single one of them. They're saying that green comet is just because it's probably got more water than anything else, which is why it's sublimating a lot more, and which is why we can see more ionized oxygen. But that's why it's green.
Yeah, I doubt the water level Phoenix went up any, maybe a couple inches, but I doubt
you had some storms recently, haven't you, in the area?
Yeah. I don't know if it helped the lake out at all. But I do know that California got enough water that ran back into the ocean. If they could have found a way to stop all that, it would have fixed their water problem and filled everything up. But of course, most of it's runoff and they can't control it. They'd have to spend billions of dollars in the future and maybe someday control it. But then all the people in charge of all the money aren't going to spend all the money for flood control. So
they need to build reservoirs. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they got them, but not enough of them, evidently.
Yeah. And then they need to float the, with some reservoirs, they put the plastic balls, the big plastic black balls on top. That stops evaporation.
Mm-hmm.
Anton, he talked about what, the water or the comet? Yeah, tell us, Phoenix. Tell us, Eric. So so it's green because of oxygen being ionized. But it's kind of cool. And then like the last time that was it was cavemen last saw that comet. It's orbital period.
I'm selling a model of my wife's Ghostbusters I printed years ago. It's a diorama. It's about this wide, that deep, that tall, of the Ghostbusters on the street with buildings behind them. So I threw it on Marketplace for $60, right? Just to make something off of it. And somebody just messaged me wanting if I take 40, and they haven't even seen it in person. So I'm not going to respond to them. So, I hate when people offer you money before they even see what you're selling.
So, old curmudgeon, if you want to do it, you go into the menu in Sky Safari, go into settings.
Hey, Tim, share a link. Maybe Tim will jump in.
Sure, of course. Tim, you're welcome to join us. So in Sky Safari,
You got a minute. You jump in.
yeah. So in Sky Safari, you go into settings, go to solar system, and you turn on show comets, and it does show you comets. There's a whole set of options in there that you need to turn on functions. What you want to see, like asteroids and comets and satellites, you can turn them all on. So yes, it does. It does. I use Sky Safari, the Pro Plus, the because I can link it to my telescope and actually use this to drive my telescope. We're not getting into politics. Oh yeah, so he said it was water, ionized water. Yeah. DeWitt.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Liam, gentlemen.
Liam, I like the way you excluded me out of that one. Out of the gentleman statement. God, you must know me.
I'm not saying a thing.
Yeah, you must know me.
How's that P1P running?
It's running good, actually. I've got to start up a job right now for a customer. It's a piece that I'm printing just a little, but I had to resize it, and I had to reinforce the top. This was printed on the Focus, and it turned out crappy.
Did you see this?
So, yeah, that is cool. That is cool, and it smokes, right?
It's water vapor. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I like that. 10, 9, 8.
You can actually put in a mode. You can actually put in a mode where it stops venting for 5 seconds, and then every 10 seconds it vents. It vents for 10 seconds, and then after 10, it'll stop and go back to not venting at all.
I like that. That's cool. That's really cool.
You put some legal cannabis in the bottom after 5 or 10 minutes. Everybody in the room will start giggling while they're looking at it.
So it's really cool. Yeah, it's like I've been pushing that because it's a very simple idea. You can 3D print it, and you have to buy a kit from him, right? And most of the money in the kit is going on the acrylic base because he has to get that made, right?
Okay.
Because the reservoir for the water is acrylic, and he had to go get that made. You can't 3D print that, right, to be fully sealed. But the atomizer is the atomizer and its control board is probably $5 or $6 online. It's not expensive. It's not, but that's not the case. He put the package together and he put the design files together, and it's for the little money you pay for the kit, and you have to 3D print your own parts. And if you don't have a printer, he'll print them, and he obviously for a price, and he'll send you the parts.
Cool.
But it's
cool. I missed part of your stream Sunday because I was watching the Cowboys game and things didn't go my way, and I was upset afterwards. And you were busy working on something. I dropped into your chat, left a few comments, but you were really into what you were doing. So,
okay, yeah, I was. It was an interesting stream. I blew one of the boards. I think I blew the little breakout board with the 5-volt thing because I can't get any power to the LEDs on the print head. So I either blew the breakout board or I blew the board in the print head. But the fans and everything's working fine. Printer's working perfectly except the LEDs. So yeah.
So well, we won't officially say it, but you can always say it's not working and ask him to send you a new one.
Yeah,
it's a new part, right? It's a new piece.
Oh yeah, it's a board, but
it's dead.
But I blew it myself.
I know, but how much does the board cost?
Oh, it can't be that much for the little breakout board, just a little thing.
Oh, is that a clipper extension board?
No, it's the daughter board, I guess, if you want to call it. Everything from the print head goes to this little breakout board, and then it goes to the breakout board. Oh, that's on the print head yeah, okay, yeah. So it goes from the print head to the breakout board, then from the breakout board to the octopus.
So hopefully within the next month, old curmudgeon.
Actually, he did a wet dress rehearsal yesterday. So he actually fully fueled the rocket in place, and they went through a wet dress rehearsal, which is a prereq to launch because they want to make sure they can fuel it, and they have the process of going through it down to a T. Now he may do more than one, and my guess is he will because it's the first wet dress rehearsal. You want to make sure everything is seamless. If they find anything, they have to go and update their procedures of how they do it. So my guess is he could do it before the month is out, but my guess is it could be early next month.
Talking about Starship Phoenix.
Yeah. So I'm guessing it'll be early next month, but he could go sooner. Because now that he has done a wet dress rehearsal, and he may do 2 or 3 of these, my guess is he has to apply for launch permission, which could take a couple of weeks.
It looks like a deep well socket you put in a drill, but the inside is round, so it's not.
No, it's actually what it's for. And I had to reinforce the top part there a little bit with the cross piece there.
Elon, as long as any rocket, no, I'm not getting an answer for that one.
As long as air can get through there, that's okay. What this is for is where's the pieces here? So if you can imagine, where did I put the other piece? Right here. So this it's a scuba, it's something for scuba. So basically this goes to an analyzer that analyzes the air in a tank. This is supposed to sit on top of it. This one was just too small. That'll sit on top of it, and then a hose from your inflator hose or something goes onto the tip of this, shoots a burst of air, just a tiny burst of air through here, and this analyzes your air to tell what oxygen content it is. So it's just an adapter piece that I'm making. So yeah.
What are you printing it out of?
I'm just going to print it in a PLA for now.
As for prototyping, right?
Yeah, it's prototyping, and if it works, it's nothing. It doesn't go underwater or anything. It's just something that sits on this piece just for checking air. But it could be exposed to the sun. That's the thing. So I'll end up probably doing it out of PETG or ABS. Probably ABS.
I guess I mumbled too loud when I read that comment. Yeah, the same rocket he's been trying to launch for the last 3 or 4 years. So,
well, he's been building it's the Starship and Super Heavy booster, which is this big one right here.
Yeah.
So this is Super Heavy booster, and that's Starship on top of it. And he's building it in Boca Chica, Texas, out on South Lab Padre Island. And he's been working on it for a few years, and he's getting to the point now where he's done enough iterations that he's getting ready to start testing to see if he can launch it correctly without issues. So, and he'll probably do a few launches and have errors along the way and failures and stuff like that. He'll go through a few of them. Some he'll crash, some will go successful.
So it'll either take off or it's going to be one hell of an explosion.
It will launch. No, I think it will launch okay. My guess is it will launch fine. Landing is going to be harder, but launching I think he can do. So it's not a new Falcon 9. Falcon 9 is only half the size of this. So if my Falcon 9 was to scale, which it's not, the Falcon 9 would only be the size of this white booster. That's all it would be. So these are not to scale side by side.
Falcon 9's his failures are like 0, and everything has been a perfect.
They're very rare now.
Hopefully, Starship will go as well, even though they had a couple failures a couple years ago.
Well, he had because he was testing out concepts and stuff.
Yeah,
and that's how he learned. But he's successfully launched this Starship up and brought it back down, and the booster is basically a Falcon 9 booster, just with more engines on it. Right? It's got 32 engines on it. On the booster.
Holy crap!
So yeah, so this is it's a beast of a machine. When it launches, and once he gets it off the ground and launches it, it'll be the largest rocket ever built and ever created. Right now, it's not deemed the largest rocket because it has not been launched. But once
that's the goal. Eventually, be a Mars project before Earth gets wiped out by all the bad people on it.
So. This is for Mars and the Moon. So NASA has already contracted him to use the Starship to land people on the Moon. They've already assigned the project to him. It was either him or Jeff Bezos with Blue Origin, and since Blue Origin still have never launched,
they're a dud at the moment.
They've never really gone into space. They've gone past the Kármán line and back, which is the imaginary line that we deem as being where the space Earth.
They can't even get that far at the moment. From some of the videos I've seen recently, they're having issues.
Who?
Bezos.
Oh, Blue Origin, yeah. So they're doing the hopper thing, which is up past the Carmen line and back. And the last one they did actually had an issue. But other than that, they haven't really they've never gone into orbit, whereas Musk has gone to orbit more times than anybody else on the planet, I think.
Yeah.
Artemis 1 has been launched. Artemis 2 is not for another 2 years. So Artemis 3 is beyond that. Bezos is Dr. Evil or Lex Luthor. No, I think he's Mini-Me.
Mini-Me.
Well, thank God for Amazon. I love Amazon. I love Amazon all day long. They got great delivery service. I can get what I want right now. There's 2 warehouses in Vegas.
But
they charge me too much money every year. I'm paying $139 a year.
That's going up. That's going up again.
Again?
Yep.
I mean, if you order a lot, it's almost like free shipping, but it's not really free. You should pay $139 a year. What I don't like is if you want their streaming music service, it's an extra $5 a month, which is a lot of money. You can get most songs free, but not everything. So my son said, Dad, you got Pandora on your phone, link it to Alexa and play everything through Pandora music. And now I do that. So now I can play whatever I want through Pandora app, which is installed on Alexa. So
is what being approved, Eric? Well, the other thing about so the prices are going up, and you do not always get the best price on Amazon. You used to when Amazon started.
Yeah, I still
guarantee the best price.
I still check Walmart and other places. I usually get the best price on Amazon, but not always.
Yep. The design of yeah. And they're launching out of Texas, not Kennedy.
And ordering from Walmart sucks because you get things different days. It might be a week from now. They're not very dependable. They're not like Prime. And if USPS are going to deliver it, good luck trying to get your packages.
No.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm going to eat. That's fine. I just got dinner served.
Oh, cool. Do we get to see the person that served it?
No, she's gone. She walked out again. She homemade pad thai.
Cool.
So it's approved, and they're waiting on. They'll have to get the approval to do a launch, which they have to do for every single launch anyway. So they're waiting on that, and then they are waiting on.
Did everybody just see Tim's screen blink, or just me?
I didn't see anything blink.
Did anybody in chat see a screen blink? I want to make sure it's not my power.
That just did blink. Tim, your camera is going out.
Yeah, you're blinking on and off. Okay.
That's because I was pulling on some wires. One of my things I had VHB taped has fallen, and I had to reach back and yada yada yada. I've got to do a little bit of wire management.
I thought old curmudgeon typed in cameltoe.com. I had to read that real close. Like, what do you write?
Camel. Would you?
Yeah. No, Jerry, we know where your mind is.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So I'm going to eat, but I won't stuff my face on screen. Okay.
My mind's always been there. Sorry.
So my AMS is supposed to arrive tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I asked my wife, since my wife talked me into getting the X1 Carbon with AMS, I was telling her, well, if I want to do 4 more colors, it only costs me $400 more because I got to buy that adapter board for $50 and $350.
Yeah.
So for 400 more, she's like, no, you don't need a second one. She wanted me to get it with AMS, but she didn't want to see me spend another $400 to do 8 colors.
Okay.
So, go for it.
Somebody
get
on
16.
Twitch, guys. Sorry for a second, guys. Somebody on Twitch, go back and get Jerry saying that comment. And actually, and clip it, please.
Just go for it. Get 3 more and do 16 colors. Can you imagine?
Well, I don't do multicolor, so I had to convince myself I'm gonna be interested in 4.
Yeah.
And I would say I'm a painter, which I am, but I don't paint that much as I should because something else happens and things don't get finished. So maybe by doing 4 colors, maybe I'll do some cool stuff.
Maybe you can paint it in the app so it actually chooses the color filament for you.
I don't think I even have 16 colors of filament.
Now, Phoenix, by the end of the month, I'm supposed to get an email. So I'm hoping between now and next Wednesday, I'll get an email stating when they're shipping. But I have it ordered, X1 Carbon. and tax, shipping, everything is a little over $1,600. So I had to put on a Discover card, which I took out a third credit card that I can't afford. I can't afford the two I already got maxed out. And I got a lot of donations. I sold a lot of 3D printing stuff, but then a lot of that money that was given to me by people or it's stuff I sold paid bills. It bought groceries. It just went poof. So, and then I got money from people that donated to me on YouTube. That came yesterday. I got that money. So I ended up making my first credit card payment of $450. So out of all that money I got in, there should have been about $1,000 to put on the card. I only put $450 on it, and I had to leave enough in my account to help me survive until I get my pension next Wednesday, because I only get paid once a month.
Anybody want some homemade pad thai?
Looks good.
It's very good.
Looks good. I can smell it. Smells really good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have smell vision on my.
It's made from scratch.
Yeah, I have smell vision on my computer. I didn't know if I told you that. It detects food on the screen and it gives me an odor of what that food could be.
Based on some of the stories that Jerry tells me, I'm glad I don't.
Is that bullshit I smell?
It's not that, but
that'd be awesome, Phoenix, but not necessary. You know, if anybody wants to donate to help out, that's great. And every video that I do on the Bamboo Labs, I'm plugging everybody that donated to me in the credits, or during the stream, I'll have everybody's name on screen, and or they'll either scroll up or they'll just be there, whichever. I'm not going to list what people donated. That'd be wrong to do, but I'll list everybody that helped me out.
Old Curmudgeon says, quick, break wind. I just turned it off.
Especially for Old Curmudgeon, right?
Break wind. I got a story to tell you. You want to hear it?
My
dog,
of course.
I sleep in a separate room. My wife's got the master. I sleep in a different room because I snore. She watches TV all night, so that we clash. So I have a separate room. My dogs sleep with me at night. I sleep with a comforter over me year-round, with a fan blowing on me. Well, one of my dogs likes to sleep near my backside quite often. And last week, I had a wind problem, and the dog actually got up and moved away from me because it went right through the comforter. And she, thinking a dog would love that, she couldn't handle it, so she had to move the other side of the bed. So anyway,
too funny.
And if I had a candle in my room at night, I'd probably blow up. You wouldn't see me on stream no more.
I actually know. Nobody. I don't. My wife doesn't watch it anyway. She snores. She snores sometimes, right? And one night she snored so loud she woke herself up.
When Brandy sleeps, my wife sleeps. I'll go in there to talk to her, and she'll be like half asleep, and she's babbling. I haven't taped her yet, but she's talking about gibberish. It doesn't.
A lot of people do that, talk in their sleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, she's awake, and I wake her up enough to talk to her, and she starts talking back, and it's all gibberish.
Because she's not fully awake. She's not fully awake.
Yeah, I need to pay for it because it's complete gibberish. Sometimes she's talking about something that makes no sense. Sometimes it's not even English. I need to tape it. And she says, "Oh no, I don't." Yeah, you do.
Yeah, my wife sometimes she in her sleep she sometimes dreams in Filipino, so she'd be talking Filipino in her sleep. Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah, people waking up, people next door because they're so good. Well, hotel rooms, the walls are paper thin in hotels. So
I guess I snore really loud. She says I've never taped myself.
I tell my wife jokingly that when it gets really bad with her, especially she's got a cold, Filipino is the language.
What?
Tagalog is there is something like 400 dialects in the Philippines.
They can see you. Say hi. They're looking at you.
She doesn't care. All she wants is
she just wants a bone.
All she wants, yeah, that's all she wants. Yeah.
Cracker. You gonna bark at me now?
She's saying it's treat time. Get up your house and feed me.
All right.
Oh, come on.
It's treat time. Sorry, guys. I'm eating my dinner.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
I was just thinking to myself, as I got this far into the print. The smart guy would stop and make sure that this is going to fit on this. Correct. And I said, but nah, it's going to work. And what happened? It came off the bed and forced me to stop anyways.
Did it fit?
I'm going to check in a second. I'm just going to keep the bed warm here. I need to put a brim on it because there's very little touching the build plate.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm really sore from changing that tire yesterday. Oh.
And let's see if it would have fit.
Oh, yeah. My Kaibu
it's
Max.
Too big. Oh, it's way too big. Oh, wow.
Did you scale it up by how many percent?
No, I didn't scale it. I should, but I'm going to scale it down now a little bit. Although I can't really scale it down because that tip has to be the specific size. Okay, so I've got to go into Fusion and reduce the size
Corey,
of that.
I had a blowout yesterday on the tire when I got off the freeway and had to change it. And I haven't worked in a long time in construction, so anything physical really kills me the next day. So I'm extremely sore from changing the tire.
Okay,
jacking the truck up.
So Zach, Tagalog, is the official language in the Philippines because it comes from the Luzon area, where the capital is, right? Most of the other areas do not speak Tagalog. They speak so many other variations. Some of them are so vastly. Excuse me, I got hiccups because it's spicy. Some of them are so vastly different that they're deemed different languages because there's I have dialect would have most of the same words or whatever. Some of them are so vastly different in some areas, like Tagalog and the Visayan are very, very close. They're very different in most of the words. But in the Visayas, which is the central region, there's a big difference between Visayan and Cebuano. If you could speak Visayan, but you won't. But if someone speaks Cebuano, you won't understand most of what they're saying to you.
I need to buy a grabber.
Why? Because you can't bend down and get stuff?
No, I dropped my water bottle cap on the floor. I'm sore, and I got to get on my hands and knees to pick it up.
Just leave it there and drink it.
Yeah, then when I go to shake up the bottle, which I've done that before, the cap wasn't on tight.
You're on camera. We can show it to everybody. It'll be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my wife is from there. So, and there's a lot of Filipinos here as well.
Oh, take a shower.
Do you have a bath?
I smell all right.
Do you have a bath, Jerry?
Deodorant and cologne. Do I have what?
A bathtub.
So yeah, I got a bathtub. I live in a house.
But not everybody has bathtubs. Some people just have showers instead.
The master's got a big tub that we don't use. It takes forever to fill it in the shower stall.
The bathtubs go
whole
steep
bath has a bathtub.
Steep or
yeah, we got a regular bathtub. The water gets hot.
Yeah,
it doesn't take an hour.
For half an hour. That will ease those aches.
I'll probably take another hydrocodone.
That's only masking it. The heat would actually relax the muscle.
If I had a wife or a girlfriend, I'd get a back rub, but that's never going to happen in this house.
Well, you have a wife.
Yeah.
Well, for that to happen, you need a girlfriend.
You're actually right. Yeah.
She's going to kill me if she's watching.
The girlfriend usually wants to be a wife and does whatever you ask. If you get married, it all stops. You're screwed now.
It does, but I think it's more sore muscle, and the heat would help relax the muscle.
Yeah.
Zach, we do not need to know what you have to beg for. Okay.
Massage therapist. Oh my God, you still got to beg for it.
Zach, we don't need to know what you have to beg for.
Here, honey, $10.
That can be taken many ways, Jerry.
Well, yeah. Anything that comes out of my mouth is meant to be taken many ways.
I'm not going to touch that statement.
No.
I'm not going to touch that statement. It's going to get me in trouble. So much that that I'll be fined by the what are they called? The guys who take care of the media broadcasting. What's the name of that agency?
FCC. FCC, Federal Trade,
That's it,
Federal
the FCC
Communication Commission.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to remember. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to Starship launch. Hopefully, in a couple of weeks. So the wet dress rehearsal, we haven't heard how good it went, but they did it yesterday.
I hope it's more exciting than a Dallas game was Sunday.
You saw it filling with fuel, and you saw it getting frosted over. And then when they emptied out, the frost went away. So yeah, more interesting than the Dallas game. I can get them. I haven't finished it. I really haven't. It's been so cold to go out and work in the garage to do sanding. It's just been horribly cold out. I need to do some work. So there's a lot of sanding work on it. And I'm not doing it in the house because it's dusty. I do need to go out and do some. But the weather's just been so cold.
Speaking of Dusty, I haven't seen him in chat today.
No, I haven't seen Dusty Knuckles today. He was around the weekend though.
I'd rather be called Dusty Knuckles than Harry Knuckles.
Or Knuckle Dragger. There's a what was I going to say? So I'm going to start onto the parts for that Star Trekker next. Is what we're going to do with my next project.
Yeah, I'm slowly weeding down all my printers, getting rid of everything I don't need, and selling them off for cheap or whatever, depending on what's wrong with them. And and hopefully in the near future, I'll just have the one row of printers behind me.
I might cut down some of mine too. I'm thinking about cutting down some of mine.
I'm not using them, and I need money, so I'm trying to sell them off. Now, my Kaiwu Max has got a layer ship problem. I listed that online. It's got a layer shipping problem. And I said, but they still sell these on Amazon for $4.99. Hint, 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 hint. But if somebody buys it, I don't know what's wrong with it. I got to figure out why it's got a layer ship problem.
Does it happen always at the same spot?
It's when it gets nice and tall, it happens. And I don't remember when. It's been so long since I used it. I would have to try to print something tall to see when it happened, determine what's causing it. But something's causing it. And because I'm listing that it doesn't print, perfect, I'm not selling it. I figured somebody would buy it that might have an idea what's wrong with it and they'd pick it up cheap and be happy, or they'd do an Amazon swap that you're not supposed to do. Don't ever do that. And anyway, then I have a good looking printer. But
yeah, I was actually speaking with my son's high school. They're building a big extension in the school. And part of their extension is going to be a STEM center, so they're adding in a telescope observatory. So most places build them wrong; they make mistakes when they're building them, right, for schools and stuff. So I reached out to them, and I said, I listed out the things I think they need to watch for. And today I got an email from the architect saying, we actually hired this guy who is what he does. He designs observatories. They hired this guy who designs observatories and stuff. And they did this and they did this, and he had an answer for everything I wanted them to watch out for, because I've even seen universities do them wrong, right? So they went through all of this. They're doing it all right. Like I've seen universities do it wrong, and these guys are doing it right for high school. So that's great to see, We'll be opening.
Hey Tim, do you pay for a program on your phone called Bizart? It's for creating thumbnails and stuff. It's an editing software.
No, I don't. I haven't. I've heard of it. I haven't tried it.
Tripod uses it, and I had to ask him again what the name was. He told me like a year ago. It's like $5.99 or $6.99 a month.
That's funny.
Bizarre.
Render's getting all lonely. I'm still using my Enders. Sorry, very spicy. It's spicy. Spicy food makes me
Bring tear to your eyes.
No.
Now, my Bamboo Lab X1 Carbon, do I put an Amazon box behind it and have plenty of room, or do I take the time to waste a bunch of filament to print in a container that's going to be too small? But then the nice little container, I can dump it every day or every couple of days or when I use it. So I don't necessarily have to use a big, ugly box and do it every so often.
It depends on how much you're printing, Jerry, on how many colors you're mixing. If you're not doing color changes, you won't have to, you only purge at the beginning of a print. If you are doing a lot of color changes, that's going to give you an awful lot.
Yeah, I seen the video the other day the guy did where he printed something. I forget what it was. And he had a purge tower plus the time lapse and everything going on. And he had 3 times as much waste as what the print had in it. He weighed out his box, zeroed it out, dumped all the waste in it, weighed the model by itself, and all the waste could have been 3 models. So he made it clear to everybody that if you're going to print something in multicolors and you want more than one, do them all now, because it only makes one color change for the one model for all the models. So
yeah,
agreed.
My phone just dinged. Let's see, it's Marketplace. Let's see what they're asking about. They're asking if my diorama is still available, and I've already said 6 or 7 people asked me about it, and yes, it's still available.
Let me show you how much waste I have from the Bamboo Lab. My printer.
You do a container? Yeah. Well, I've seen the one I downloaded. It's like an L shape. It kind of hooks around the front corner on the left side of the printer. So it's just like a big square box and it has a little tab that goes around the corner. That's one I'm thinking.
I dumped it already. I didn't think I did, but I did.
Why don't you save your waste? Because one of these days you might turn it into a pill extruder or do something with it. Just save it up.
Because I'd have too much of it. For over years, no. Okay. But it's not much because I generally I use one color. So one thing it does though, at the beginning of each print, it does extrude a fair amount of filament. I believe you can change that setting. I haven't really looked at it, but I believe you can shorten that. They need to. Like, I think if you're going from black to white, you need to purge more than you do going from red to green to blue and all this kind of stuff, you know?
Hey, Zach, how necessary is it to do the 7 to 9 minute bed leveling procedure for each print? Can you do it once and the next day turn on the printer and just start printing? Do you think it's that important that you go through that procedure every time to make sure the first layer is perfect? I've had people say they've turned it off and they go to do a print and come back later and they got spaghetti because they didn't watch it go down because they turned everything off.
The vibration, it does a little dance at the beginning. The ABL you can turn off in your slicer, but I think the vibration testing it requires it. It's about 6 minutes. Is what it takes to do it all with ABL.
The share screen. Here's the box I got off printables. Here's the one I was going to print right here. I haven't done it yet, but here's the one I want to print.
There's another one out there that who was it? Was it Joel Telling or someone showed us? Where there's a ramp that comes around, so whatever comes off slides on the ramp and comes out the front. Yeah. So instead of having that behind the printer, it actually ends up dumping it in front.
Well, yeah, if you're paying all that money for the printer with all these extra options, I guess it's best to leave it on and take
advantage of the
take advantage of it. It's a word I couldn't think of. Yeah.
Why not?
So we're going to be around about 10 more minutes, I'm guessing. Does anyone want to jump in for the last few? If anyone wants to come in, there's a link. If you want to come in and say hi or whatever.
Here's a cool model that Sanix is getting ready to release. Right here.
Preview.
Wednesday Addams.
Ooh, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I like that show.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm waiting for the second part. I think they're going to be.
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, it's good.
You haven't watched this?
No.
It's good. Now,
have you seen The Last of Us?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I've seen 2 episodes.
Is it good?
It's okay.
That second episode when they were crossing over the bridge into the city.
Yeah.
That's Calgary.
Oh, is it?
That was filmed downtown. I take that road every day, and they closed that road and filled it with all the cars, and It's amazing the way they made all the buildings.
It wasn't all CGI.
Not all of it, no. I think they took whatever they filmed, and somehow they made all the buildings look all decrepit and crappy.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's all CGI overlay.
But
yeah.
that's good what they can do. Cars and stuff they're touching, what they were put there. Okay.
Yeah, they had closed that bridge down for a week and put all these cars and all the dirt and trees and
wow.
Yeah,
that'd be fun just to watch. Cool.
So Dominic, I've been watching the Snapmaker, the J1. It wasn't called a Snapmaker back then because the guys they merged back with Snapmaker. They were ex-Snapmaker staff, created their own company, came up with the idea of the J1, and then merged back in with them. Now, that sounds fishy to me. Here's what I think in my mind think really happened. I think they created another project, a separate entity to build a J1 and just make it look like it's not part of Snapmaker, so they could run a Kickstarter. And so Snapmaker would not look like it's actually turning around and getting people to do. Snapmaker's not running a Kickstarter for a new printer. And then later on, when the printer was ready, then they merged. Then they said, "Oh, we're merging. We've been bought out and merging back with Snapmaker." That's way too much of a coincidence for the staff to leave and go back in again. I'm sorry. That sounds suspicious to me. What do you guys think?
I wasn't listening.
Okay. So the J1 from Snapmaker, they were actually a company. They created. They had a company called Jade Labo. Right? Jade Labo was who created who started the Kickstarter for the J1 IDEX printer. After they had the machine ready, after the Kickstarter was over, after they were in production, they announced that they were ex-Snapmaker staff, all of them. They later announced that they were being merged. They were actually after being bought out by Snapmaker, so they merged back with Snapmaker. So everyone complains about companies with money, established companies doing Kickstarters. Does it not sound fishy that they left, created a Kickstarter company, built a printer, and then merged back into Snapmaker again?
Did they honor the Kickstarters?
Yes, it did. But it doesn't sound like Snapmaker did not want to have a Kickstarter in their name. Hence Jade Labo. And when they saw it was successful, so they spun them off like a kind of a spin-off.
It's hard to say what happens back in again. It's hard to say what happens behind the scenes. I got enough going on in my life. I try not to worry about what companies are doing.
I know, but I'm just saying it sounds suspicious.
I'm receiving.
The process sounds suspicious. If they were bought by somebody who other than Snapmaker, then I wouldn't even think that. But the fact that they left and were brought back under the fold again, that's way too much of a coincidence, I think.
Yeah.
It's just I've been through lots of mergers and acquisitions and so on. I know how that stuff works. And it's rare you spin off a company and then bring it back under the fold again.
Yeah, I agree with Jesse there about the like even the P1P does its whole startup routine at the beginning of every print. It takes, I don't know, 5-6 minutes, whatever, but it's if you're gonna get a good fast print out of it, let it do it. And especially on the X1 Carbon, if it's checking your first layer, it's making sure everything's going to print fine, boom. Who cares about an extra 7 to 10 minutes?
Hey, Justin, do you want to come in? We're not going to be here for very long, but if you want to come in and join us, you're welcome to do so. Let me see if I got an updated message from Bamboo Labs. I don't think so, but let me see. No update from Bamboo Labs. Still waiting on them to respond. I have a little bit more time before I have to turn on and say, guys, I'm making a call because you're not doing it. So send me a replacement. And I'll have no problem doing that if it comes down to it. I just am not happy with it. I know most people are. And you're not getting that effects at all, Tim, are you, on your printer?
No, nothing from them. I'm surprised they haven't offered to replace it for you yet.
Not yet. They haven't. No. I will.
Did I?
I've suggested to them.
You've been posting in the bamboo groups also about it, right?
I know. I'm doing. Well, there is a post up there about the issue, and other people have said they've seen it, and other people say they're not seeing it. So there's a mixed bag. But the last update I sent to them, which was on the 21st, I said, "Is there any further update on this? Is there a solution, or do I claim a replacement to be shipped to me, or my money back?"
Yeah.
Because I've asked them, like this. They said, "Did you check this? Did you do this? Do this?" I've done everything they've asked.
Yeah.
Like cleaning the carbon rods. Come on, guys. They're supposed to be black on the carbon rods because it's self-lubricating, right?
Straight out of the box, it should work. You shouldn't have to clean anything when you first get it.
No.
Well,
No.
I don't mind cleaning stuff after I get it, right?
Hey, what's going on?
My issue is there's an issue. Other people have seen it and they're not solving it. They haven't come up with a fix for it yet. If it was a fix saying, "Oh, we have to replace this stepper motor or replace this board or whatever," okay, I'm game to do that. Send me the part. I'll tear it apart. I'll put it in and I'll rebuild it. I have no problem doing that. Now, I have more screwdrivers and hex keys than you could shake a stick at, right? But they haven't come up with an answer for me yet, and that's worrying me. That
they'll get it.
What the problem is.
They'll get it figured out.
Well, here's what they need to do, right? They need to get a couple of these machines sent back to them, replace them, and spend time diagnosing them to find out exactly where the issue is.
When does your return window close on that, or has it already?
It's 30 days, so no, it hasn't closed yet. It's only just over a week old.
No more. No.
Right.
Week and a half old. So they should say, "I want the machine back." We're going to diagnose the machine, so anyone else has the issue, we know what the problem is. So, and they haven't done that. I haven't heard of anybody just doing a switch to diagnose.
Email them back and tell them what you just told us. That I'm really surprised you guys don't want this back, so you can see what's going on. In the meantime, ship me out another unit, and then I'll have a working printer because I invested all this money and it doesn't work for me.
But I've kind of said that.
Then you can see what's wrong with this one.
Tell them that. I've kind of said it to them in the message that I sent them in the ticket anyway.
Well, be blunt about it. Just tell them what you think.
Yeah. Let's see. Phoenix call. I've been working. Oh yeah, you've been on that one. How's that going, Justin?
Oh, busier than ever.
How do you say it?
Remurf.
Remurf. Okay.
For now.
You need to come up with a better name.
Yes. Well, I was going to do Colorado Rep Rap Festival. That didn't seem inclusive. So then it would have been Surf.
Surf works.
Yeah,
CO Rep Rap Festival. How about CO?
Nah. Rocky Mountains are more of a regional thing because Midwest does theirs. East Coast, it didn't make sense to do a state.
Okay.
So we're leaving it as it is for now. Or we could call it Rocky Murph. I don't know.
What area is Rocky Mountain in?
Rocky Mountain?
No, bigger than that.
North from Montana. Like, let me pull up Rocky
Well, you've
Mountains.
already got logos and everything done, so it's already.
Yeah, everything's done.
I'm just wondering.
Rocky Mountains is a major mountain range, obviously. It goes from like, let me do this.
Where Lake Mead starts at.
Are you?
That's where Lake Mead starts at.
Let's see here.
Are you Central Time Zone?
Mountain. Pull up my screen. There. There's your Rocky Mountain.
I see my house.
Yeah, can you? Like, by zooming in. That's the Rocky Mountains. So half the country?
It's a continental divide is basically what it is.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I've seen it from the west side when I was in Wyoming.
I've seen it from all the sides.
Yeah, no, I've seen it from the other. I've only seen it from the Wyoming side, which is up there in the northern section to the west. So
right.
So we can't call it
printing TPU. Ugh. Yeah, that's the Rocky Mountains. So it adds a couple million people to the idea.
How many people are going?
Don't know yet. We've got 3 months left. So
what are the numbers looking like right now?
Not as high as we'd like, but we'll get there.
Every first year of anything is going to be slow. People want to see how it goes, watch videos on it, and they're like, well, okay, let's invest and go there next year.
Well,
it's got to prove itself
luckily,
first.
there's between here and Wyoming, there's about 5 million people within an hour's drive. So
what vendors are you getting there? Like what vendors?
We've got we're coming up on 40 sponsors.
You have Lulzbot?
Yep.
Good.
Here, on. All right, share me again.
Coca Quest, Prusha, going to be there. Voron, okay. Is that
top 5 are the platinum?
Is that LDO for Voron?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. No, Voron is separate from LDO.
Okay. TH3D, Chris.
Take care, Phoenix.
Lulzbot. Take care, Eric. E3D, okay, good.
That's a nice list. That's a
great
you're
going to have what's his name from what's his name?
From who?
What's his name? The guy who's doing the nozzles and so on for the belt printers. He does the beds. The
belt Andres.
No,
Adam. No, he is not interested in being part of it.
Okay. Well, see, his thing fell through, so
I know. And then more sponsors too. Zolan.
Good. Hey, Zolan.
We even have a local 3D printer company, Watson.
Down there.
We're coming up on 40 sponsors shortly, which is nuts.
And what does the sponsor do? Do they just show up with their company?
They're financially supporting the event and getting a pre-chosen booth and getting to sell their stuff.
Is it the same amount of money for each sponsor, or does it depend on the sponsor what you charge?
We have tiers: platinum, gold, silver, and bronze. Platinum, gold have been sold out for about a month. So
nice.
Yeah, and we trust me. If we could have sold 15 to 20 platinums with how much interest we had, and that's a little crazy.
So what's happening, Zolan?
Well, I just rebuilt my retro Pi. It's busily grabbing all the artwork and stuff right now.
Nice.
Cool. How you been, buddy?
I'm printing I custom designed and I'm printing a fuel cap remover for somebody who has massive RA issues.
That's a good answer from Jesse Foreman. Ask ChatGPT for a name.
ChatGPT is down. I just tried going there. It's down.
What?
Sorry, what?
ChatGPT is down.
Oh, yeah, it's been overwhelmed lately.
Are you sure it's down?
I just tried to go to the site. It's not responding.
Try it in Edge.
I don't have Edge. I'm on a window. I'm on my work machine. This machine is it's a Mac.
So when you go to your other
up in
computer,
Edge.
Oh, that's in the other room.
Okay.
Yeah, and we officially can announce that Jim from the Edge of Tech is our MC for the event.
I saw that announcement. Yeah,
nice.
It's awesome.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I like Jim.
He's super excited, and we'll be on Hot Makes on the 13th. So
cool.
Yeah, I've never met him in person. Well, I've never met anybody in person, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if Avelo was doing their cheap flights to Northern Colorado Airport, if they were still doing it, you could fly into Loveland Airport and walk. It's so damn close.
Yeah. No, I met Jim.
Jim's awesome. I met him at IRF and Murph. Nice. We hung out at dinner at IRF.
And in real life, he's just as big a personality as he is on camera.
Oh yeah.
But he's really nice. He's nice.
Mm-hmm. He's awesome.
Chuck Hallebuck is the same. Chuck Hallebuck's a nice guy too.
I met Chep. I was sitting down for breakfast at Murph at the hotel, and I'm sitting down that first day, and Joel, Chep, and Pooch all sit down for breakfast. I'm like, holy crap!
It's not down.
Oh, it's working for you. It's not working on my side.
I told you, it's Edge. Microsoft is still billions.
Go in and ask ChatGPT, can it come up with a good name and anagram name for the Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Festival?
Rep Rap Revolution in the Rockies.
We've already paid for our everything.
We're just doing it to see what it does.
Rep Rap Revolution in the
Jump upside
Rockies.
it.
is one of
Mountain
them.
Maker Fest.
There you go.
Mountain Maker Fest.
Say hi to
We
everybody.
got to be careful with that
Say
because
hi.
that gets close to Maker Fair.
People are
No.
looking at you.
The Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Revolution.
Oh, that's good.
That's not
And
bad.
ATF will show up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That'll be funny.
they'll show up anyway.
Any other good ones?
You say you want a revolution.
It's on my screen.
It's too small. Come on, man. I'm old.
And that's a personal problem. No. You're not that old.
There
You're
we
what,
go.
48?
Keeping some of the Rockies, Rocky Mountain Rep Rap.
Rocky Mountain Fabrication.
What was the question you asked?
Nice.
To go on.
Oh, that's a good one.
3D printing in the Rockies. Nice. Rocky Mountain Rapid Prototyping Rally.
Oh no, because of mountains, peak performance.
The Summit of
Okay,
Innovation.
That's going to be my company name.
Printing
I'm
is an
stealing that
actual
and I'm
company.
making it. It
Sorry?
is?
Yes.
Yeah, but not peak for performance printing.
No,
I'm
Peak Performance Printing is an actual company.
That's awesome.
Really?
They're in the UK.
Oh wow.
Oh, then I can steal them. I can hijack it.
Here, let's see what else
They're
we can come up with.
names.
How about a marketing? Can't do Maker Fair. That would cost us so much.
We'll do a
money.
marketing thing for you.
Yeah, I would love to see some marketing stuff. I need to get on it.
Fabrication Frontier.
Fabrication Frontier. I like that. Innovate Rockies. 3D Printing Summit. Nice. Well, it's pretty cool, but I don't know if we're ever going to change it.
Oh no, Great Rockies Rep Rap Festival. Grr.
Zolan. Oh man. There goes the dinner I was gonna pay for one with if he showed up. So there goes
Oh,
that.
watch this. Read this, Justin. So getting rid of Justin.
It didn't affect anything. It's all good.
I like that the name of Justin does not appear in the name Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Festival. So getting rid of Justin would not change the name suggestions.
Right. All right, let's see.
Hey Ben, how are you?
Hey, Ben Brady.
Hey, Ben.
He hung out with us on Sunday when I built that rocket.
Anyways.
You saw
Okay.
that? Did you, Zolan?
Hmm?
Did you see this?
I saw you post something about it, but I have been okay. That I did not see. I didn't realize you got a vape.
It's got cannabis,
it's water.
cannabis oil in the bottom of it, so you'll start giggling in a minute.
Oh
Isn't that
man,
cool?
Ben. Yeah, we got like 6 inches of snow here right now.
Nice.
We have snow coming tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm in Oklahoma.
Yeah, this has got an intermittent mode as well, so it goes quiet for 5 seconds and then vents for 10 and then goes off again, and it does that over and over and over again.
Oh, so it does just as well as. Never mind.
Keep it clean. It's fun to show. Well, this is cool.
Nice. Now we just have to wait for them to actually
I'm
launch
like a
it.
kid at Christmas with that little thing. I love that little thing. That damn model. It spends its day up here on my shelf behind me. So if I'm in meetings with cameras on, they all get to see this thing, and it's on the intermittent mode, so it starts venting in the middle of a conversation. Yeah, so I think we have tomorrow. We have starting early in the morning, and it's supposed to go on into. We're saying possibly 4 to 8 inches of snow tomorrow.
Wow.
That's okay. That's why you got to be
Yeah.
slower.
We have a polar vortex coming towards us.
Oh, you have the cold weather coming in.
It's
Yeah,
51 and
apparently-
clear here right now. No
What
snow.
they're saying is that the coldest weather on the planet right now is in what's that place in Russia up north?
Vladivostok.
Siberia.
Siberia, and
Mhm,
it's
I
heading
think that.
south into Canada.
What was the name of the sci-fi movie where the Huey chopper lands? They open the door and the guy freezes. It was that cold, and it kind of took over
End of
Canada
days.
and America.
End of days, was it?
Tomorrow.
I don't
No,
remember
the
name.
day
Oh,
after
tomorrow.
Day
tomorrow.
after tomorrow.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. It was that
Yeah.
one.
Day
Nicolas
after tomorrow.
Cage and
I can't
where
imagine
where they
anything.
show the Chinook helicopter hydraulic lines freezing while
the
in
Yeah,
fuel
flight,
lines.
freezing in
The
the air.
fuel lines froze at -150.
Yeah.
which, by the way, it would take a lot more than that. But anyways,
Yeah, I can't imagine anybody instantly freezing that quick. But yeah,
Or if it gets cold, like liquid nitrogen, you freeze instantly.
yeah. Well,
And that's the temperatures they were
it
experiencing.
was a good movie.
Yeah, it was not bad.
right? Somebody said -150 though. No, it was more than that.
No, that's what they said in the show.
Yeah,
Pull it
-150
up.
would not freeze them. Would not an active fuel line on a Chinook helicopter would not freeze at that temp.
No, but it's Hollywood.
But
Let's
other
see.
things would. There are many other things on it that would freeze.
Yeah. It's oil would go gloopy at that temperature, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the hydraulics.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was
Fuel
not a
lines,
bad,
yeah, it's literally the fuel lines and crew freeze to death at temperatures below about -150. I'm reading the plot, so
Mhm.
Hollywood.
yeah. It wasn't a bad show though. It's not
No.
a bad show. I love the fact that when it was all over, the air was crystal clear.
Oh yeah.
My biggest issue with it was having to listen to my wife complain. My wife complained about the wolves and how they moved.
Uh-huh.
That's funny.
They're not Jesus nuts. They're Jesus clips. You go to undo the clip, and Jesus, where'd it go?
That's like Tim's floor. He drops stuff.
It's gone.
It's a black
Yeah.
hole.
It's a black exactly.
After you revamped the place, did you find enough nuts and bolts to build a new printer?
Pretty much. Whenever I vacuum, I just hear ting, click, 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 click.
Yeah.
I could probably open the vacuum and clean out the vacuum bag and open a store.
Yeah, and just run a magnet over it, and half it will stick to the magnet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Ben said they're called Jesus nuts on typewriters.
Yeah, for me it was the stupid C clips on bearing races.
Were you in the military, Zolan?
No,
Okay, you hesitated a lot.
I went through the testing, but I have never actually been enlisted. But I was a consultant,
Okay,
hence the hesitation.
yeah, because you've done overseas work. I get it. I am ex-military, but I wasn't in anything like that. So I'm a sailor. So what time is it? It's 3. Oh, we've been at for over 3 hours.
I don't know. I just got here.
Yeah, I know, and I'm thinking of wrapping up because it's after 10. It's almost 10:15 here, and I have to be up early in the morning. I have to get my son out of bed for school.
I get to work from home tomorrow
I work from home
Nice.
every day. But-
because there's no way you can get out of my driveway right now.
Well, it looks like everybody's going to be working out of home tomorrow. It doesn't look like my son is going to school either in the morning.
Yeah, the moment it started snowing here, everything shut down.
Wow. How much snow are we talking?
Yeah.
In Oklahoma, it only takes one snowflake to shut it down. And
Oh my
his name is
goodness.
Skit. But other than that, I have about 4 to 6 inches right now out there,
Wow.
That's
which
what
is
we're
a
expecting
lot
tomorrow.
for Oklahoma.
That's just a skiff.
Yeah, I know, but for Oklahoma, it's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Tim,
broke for you.
we don't have the road crew.
Right.
You have road crews. We don't.
Yeah. Well, this like in Vancouver when they get a little.
They've resorted to spraying. They've resorted to spraying beet juice on the road instead of using salt.
Oh gosh! Oh my goodness! Hey, homegrown. Yeah, Vancouver out here. If they get a half an inch of snow, it shuts down.
I find that amazing. Like if you go to the southern states, they get a dusting like some icing sugar on the road. They shut the roads down. Whereas in Michigan, if the snowfall is less than 6 inches, you're driving to work, right? Because anything more than 5 or 6 inches, what happens with regular cars is when you try and drive through it, it banks up in front of the front bumper, and it kills your forward motion. You stop.
Yeah.
Right. The problem is here, you get a couple inches of snow, it melts a little bit, and then it freezes and snows again.
Yeah, we get that
it
too.
does that over and over. You end up with just this layer of ice.
Yeah, we get that. Or the worst part is near the end of the season when you get the wet snow.
And we don't get the crunch. That's the thing. Up north, it gets dry enough because how cold it is. The snow is crunchy.
Mm.
We get the crunch here, except at the beginning or the end of the season. And then in the beginning and the end of the season, when the weather's starting to warm up, but you get cool days, that we're looking snow, then you get a wet snow. And the wet snow is the worst one because even your snowblower struggles with it.
I spent 15 years in Alaska and 25 in Washington State. I know snow.
Yeah.
I was born and raised in Colorado. I know snow.
What's that?
It's an SSD.
Nice.
It's for my RetroPie.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't Nick Cage. It was Dennis.
And it is a working SSD.
It's like an NES game cartridge.
Yep.
Sweet. Yeah, slush season. Well, the worst thing is when you get the wet snow and then it freezes during the night. Now you have packed ice in the bottom instead because it all sits and settles and turns into ice overnight. Then
I need to run, guys.
Worst was Washington State. Take care, Jerry.
No, we're going to read over anyway, so let's finish up. Go ahead, Zolan. Finish what you're going to say first. Finish what you're going to say first, Zolan.
1998, Washington State. It snowed and then rained and then snowed so much that the boat covers were falling, and the police literally abandoned their own cars on the road.
Wow.
That wouldn't surprise me. It'd be like a skating rink.
Homegrown. I've only seen snow in Vegas maybe 3 times in my life. So I very rarely ever see snow. It snowed here like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and it's like 2 or 3 inches on the ground.
If you come to Michigan, you see it 2 or 3 times in the night.
We're in a plastic bag.
Here we see. You said you saw it 2 or 3 times in your life. In Michigan, you see it 2 or 3 times per night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. When I first moved into my house 23 years ago, it had snowed on the ground, and I made a big snowball. I ran across the street to my neighbor. They're from Michigan. She opened the door when I knocked, and I threw a snowball at her and hit her. She cussed me out, said, "I'm from Michigan," and she cussed me out and slammed the door. So anyway, that's how that went.
Oh. Let's raid over, guys. Do you want to raid over to Polymaker?
Yeah.
Sure.
Because he's only got 47 people, which is kind of low for him. I was going to go to paleontologizing, but I don't know how many of you are into dinosaurs and stuff. He's big into that, and he's really good. But he's actually a paleontologist. But now let's go over to Nick. Say hi over Nick. I don't know who somebody's on with him, and let's get the raid started. And those who are you on Twitch will raid. Those of you on Facebook and YouTube will not. So if you want to join Twitch, you can raid over. But if not, we will just wrap up once you complete the raid of our Twitch users. So let's start a raid.
Everybody have an awesome day on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, and hopefully I'll see you back Saturday, 1 p.m. Pacific on my Hangout, and DeWitt streams on Sunday.
Yeah, well, Tim
and Zolan is on randomly here and there.
Actually, Dominic third. Yeah, I got way too many puppies. Way too many puppies.
Just 1 or 2, right?
Okay, well, let me raid over the Twitch guys.
One of them called Bamboo. You got too many puppies.
No,
one of them got to be named Bamboo.
Not yet.
Okay,
No,
guys,
it
we're
might
going
be
to raid.
called belt printer
Hold on a
someday.
second, guys. Hold on. We're going to raid over the guys on Twitch. There's only a handful over to Polymaker, and then we'll wrap up here. Okay, so 1 second. Raid now. It should be raiding over.
I'm watching for it.
On Polymaker.
It's not there yet.
It should be.
I'm still watching you.
This happened last week still. Remember that?
I know. I done a raid a couple weeks ago. It didn't go through. I'm still waiting. I'm still watching you.
Let's try it again. I don't know why this is happening. Wait now. Is it?
No.
Okay, well, I'm going to wrap it up anyway, guys. So, yeah, that's weird. It's not raiding over. Let me type the command.
I go to my control panel in Twitch and I just click the raid button.
I done that. It didn't work.
Huh.
So let me show you.
You broke
command
Twitch.
line.
Something happened.
It did.
But everybody out there, have an awesome night. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for all your comments. And
Yeah. So, guys, we're gonna go. Thank you for hanging out with us, and I will see
Click
you
the like
around.
button on your way out if you're on YouTube.
Say that again.
Click the sledgehammer button.
Like, subscribe, share.
Click the
donate,
like
PayPal.
button on your way out if you're on YouTube.
And if you're not subscribed, do that now as well. Take care, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us, and I hope you have a good evening. Remember,
Don't forget to get your tickets to the
on
Murph.
here streams. Everybody on here streams. So go find their channel and follow those guys as well. Okay. Thank you again. Have a good night.
care.
Have a good night.
Let's let me get this.
Maybe.
Where am I? There we go.